One, and we are live! Welcome back to the Invictus Stream. My name is Harlan, and I am here with my extremely attractive friends, and I'm going to go through them one by one. We are here with Alex. We are here with Justin.
Ahoy!
We are here with Michael. And we are here with the one and only, our GM, Chris. Chris, give us a wave. Ooh.
It's a big day, it's a big day.
And we are here for our first ever campaign start, the introduction of Numenera. For those of you who do not know what Numenera is, I feel bad for you, because Numenera is fantastic. It sounds fantastic. It is one of the most unique role-playing games we've had the privilege to look at and to play. It's a game by Monte Cook Games, and it is a game that we are just thrilled to play. In fact, since the last completion of our last game, Dragon Age, we have been sitting on the edge of our seats waiting to jump into this world, and it's just one of the coolest ones. If you haven't seen anything that we've done before, check us out. We have Dragon Age. We do stuff every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and we always love when people comment and share along and live tweet and all that kind of stuff. We love the interaction. And if you're looking to, as an introduction to Numenera, we did a character creation video just last week, and it went through a little bit about the dice rolls, a little bit about the universe, and a little bit about what the characters do and say, and the weapons and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to touch on that a little bit today, but for the majority, we're going to jump right into the story. So, thank you for watching, first off. If you like these kind of videos, please like and subscribe and share and all that kind of stuff, and tweet us, and please interact with us. We love getting tweets and all that kind of stuff, because it just makes everything so much fun. I am going to quickly blanket it, as Alex pointed out earlier, that this is probably going to be an 18-plus show. I don't like making an 18-plus show because then it requires you to log in, and like most people, I hate Google+, and I really don't like YouTube, and I think it's lame to have to make someone to log in. So just, be your own judge. If you don't like some of the stuff we're saying, just turn it off. I totally understand that. So before we jump into the story of Numenera and kind of everything that we're going to be doing today in our first episode, I'm going to throw it over to our sexy pal Justin with an announcement about the Invictus Stream. Justin?
Thank you, Harlan.
You're welcome, Justin.
I am very excited right now. Do you know why?
Why, Justin?
Why, Justin? We're about to play Numenera?
Well, that, and I'm a very hands-on type of guy.
Is this a jerk-off joke?
It's true,
It's not a jerk-off. It could be a jerk-off joke, depending on who you are. But I like to hold things in my hands, especially when I'm reading something. Reading something online isn't quite the same as reading it.
Very nice.
These just arrived today. Perfect timing. And I have to say,
look at the size of that core book, eh?
The size of it, it's like, it looks like a math textbook from high school. It's like, and the artwork in it is beautiful. I mean, we've all got the PDF, so we've seen that. But
not gonna lie, I missed the math textbook reference. I don't.
Well,
he's never seen
back in the old days.
So,
Back in my day.
got the core book, which is great. And also picked up the Sir Arthur's Guide to the Numenera, which has a bunch of ciphers and artifacts and oddities in it. And I haven't had a chance to really look through it because I just realized I had them not too long ago. But if you can see this picture,
oh yeah,
I have a theory. This is one of the pieces of art this is Sir Arthur himself. I have a theory that this person is actually a Numenera-ized version of Monte Cook. he's very old, like nine ages old.
Who, Monte Cook is?
Monte Cook, in this picture. But he's got like the square rim glasses, and he's white.
Very cool. And those just arrived today?
They did.
Nothing beats hardcover.
I am jelly. Nothing beats that benefit of just having that thing in your hands to leaf through the pages and touch it up.
Right. So if you guys have any questions, I've got the reference book right here.
You've got the reference right there. Well, that's awesome. And in that regard, if you do have any notes that we might be playing incorrectly, there is a lot to this system. And don't get me wrong, Chris has studied it thoroughly. However, if you think you know some stuff that goes with rule changes or things that we might have gotten wrong, as well as suggestions to how you want the characters to play, feel free to tweet us or chat us along in the live chat thing on YouTube, because I'll be watching it, and I'll interject, and I'll say, yo, by the way, someone just said we should probably go through that door because he thinks it'd be funny. And we're always welcome to do that. So,
And I'm going in blind. I don't really know the rules.
and that's
Yes.
exactly the idea behind it. We want it also to be there for people who don't really know what's going on, because I don't know what's going on. And Gabe just tweeted us and he said Mike is playing again and he brought the sexy back. I agree with that. I think we need a little bit of the sexy, and Mike is definitely that. So, Chris, our GM, our God Master, our God Meister, the man who commands all of us, why don't you tell us what we're on about today?
Wonderful. So, the group. The group is a brand new partying group. They're not very experienced, so I want to just give a little background of what they've been doing and how they've gotten to where they are right now in the Ninth World. Not that the group would have admitted it, especially the leader, Brandy Jack.
That's
me. That's you. The Ninth World is a place that can overwhelm the most veteran explorers. And to be frank, this group is, well, not. Setting out as a band rich with enthusiasm and hubris, they hope to cross the Black Ridge, a feat that legends claim to be impossible. In their attempt, they witness weird and dangerous places, strange and frightening people, fierce and mutant creatures, not to mention Numenera that could alter the very fabric of existence. They almost made it to base camp. Perhaps a smaller piece of the pie is in order, but it was not without reward. They gained some character, as the trainer of the glaive Therak always said, and some loot to boot. Some mysterious Numenera that in their worn and wounded state is beyond their ability to identify. The Nano Balthazar, or Belshazzar? Belshazzar, I say. Oh, sorry.
Belshazzar. Ooh.
One evening was explicating, as he enjoys so much, about his last enthralling interstellar journal read on the latest nanite genius, Professor Who Cares, at Boring State University, when a name caught the attention of Brandy Jack, Guillaume Kittrick. He heard from the many sources and connections that he has that this eccentric weirdo has taken up residence in a nearby village called Carnelian. It was not that they could not go any further, that their backs ached and knees buckled just looking at the ridge, and that turning even their gaze west, away from their this ominous visage, brightened their very souls. No, not that, but the promise of, as the glaive Pivot stated, knowledge and adventure that was bound to be found in the comfort of a warm bed. A chance for the group to find the rest that they needed so badly, and for the Nano Belshazzar to meet a hero of his. On their travels, one more intriguing thing that in all the strange that they had witnessed piqued their curiosity more than any other: a new star. And we'll start with them there. So, the partying adventurers have one thing in common, and that is that they want to adventure, and they want to discover Numenera. So that's really what's driving this group and keeping everyone together. If I could ask each player now to give a little background story of their character. We'll start with Shaz.
I'm glad you asked. I was actually an orphan. I grew up in a type of orphanage community in the town of Jaston, which is just east of the Sea Kingdom of Gon. If you're looking at a map, you can probably easily find it. A nano named Chernobog was a headmaster, a teacher, a preacher, and an instructor in the use of the Numenera. He was also secretly an evil nano-sorcerer. For many years, late at night, I would manage to climb out of bed and sneak quietly to a nearby cellar where I would watch Chernobog practice his dark use of Numenera. I carefully watched and studied everything Chernobog did. I saw the ways he would tap into the Numenera and use esoteries and reshape the world around him, almost like he was pinching time. He would often practice on and harm many innocent creatures. I hated not being able to do anything, just watching. It was such a terrible thing to see. I often felt as though, as they squirmed under Chernobog's esoteric spells, as though I felt the animal's pain and agony inside of my own body. It was horrific. I got away with sneaking to watch Chernobog for many years, and I was learning some things that I wanted to know, but also a lot of what I did not want to know. All the pain and all the suffering. It wasn't until I was 13 when Chernobog finally discovered me spying on him, and in that very moment, with only a few brief words, "What are you doing here? How did you find me?" he then attempted to kill me. I had managed to escape alive into the nearby wilderness, and eventually I made my way to a nearby city, but since then, I've taught myself how to harness the power of the Numenera and esoteries, and more recently, having strange dreams in various signs and portents, they've led me to meet Brandy Jack and Tharic and even Pivot. It's all just so strange how I fell into this group. And that's what brings me here.
Shaz, what is your full name, just so they know?
Belshazzar Eartug.
Cool. All right, well, Brandy Jack, he's got a connection to you. Let's hear your background.
Brandy Jack, eh? Well, put it this way. You don't need to know too much about me, other than the fact that I like you, and you and we can get along. There's not much that I don't want to do. I can tell you this much. I was just hanging out in the city not too long before tagging up to these guys, and I had this great idea. I was sitting at the bar, having my drinks, and I thought, my God, okay, I got it. The jackdaws. I'm going to have the jackdaws, these guys, and we can do things, and we can do anything we want. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but basically, anyone can join. They just have to check with me. So Brandy Jack presents the jackdaws. I'm thinking like a marquee hanging above a door frame, something like that, something really nice that just makes it look like we know what we're doing. But I don't know what we're going to do yet. It's going to be something along those lines. I enjoy a good time. That's about it. I am here, for my own purposes. Pivot and I, we go way back. These guys, they seem like good guys. They definitely know what's up in the Numenera, and I appreciate that because there's a lot of strange in this world. And I'm a bit of it. I really enjoy long walks on the beach and things of that nature, and a good drink. So if anyone wants to get a drink after this, anytime. I mean that, anytime. Other than that, not much you need to know about me. I like having a good time and having a few drinks. And my best buddy Pivot, he knows more about this stuff than I do, other than that. So I'll throw it off to him now.
You know you talk a lot, right?
Well, that's what I do. People enjoy it. I can't really argue with that.
Not much to my story. I met Brandy Jack in a bar one time, but I'll tell you about that later. Basically, I used to be a bodyguard of one of the leaders of a big crime syndicate back in Key. Is that how you pronounce that? Key? I've always called it Key. Anyway, they saved my life, this crime syndicate. They turned my body into pretty much a machine. And that's great and all, but I don't know when it was, but at some point I started getting sick of all the killing, sick of all the stealing, the crime. I wanted to live a good life. And so I ran away. Now, this crime syndicate known as the Black Bloods, they're looking for me. I'm hoping that they never find me. And they never will. That's all I got to say.
Last but not least, let's hear from Tharic. The rugged glaive who fuses flesh and steel.
For now, all that needs to be known of me is that I've spent a lot of time alone in the forest, surviving day to day. I've joined this group because I've heard of their venture, and I know it's time for me to reintegrate myself back into society. as best I can. However, these hardy young fools are going to need someone that can help them find their way in the woods. I know how to use the plants. I know how to tame the wild animals. So I'm here to make sure they don't get themselves killed. Unbeknownst to...
Sorry.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes... No.
Get used to it.
Yeah, I can't argue with a guy that's trying to keep us alive. And I gotta say, out of all this rugged guy, he is tough as shit. I heard him screaming last night just because some guy bumped in his way. It scares the fuck out of me.
No kidding.
There's
Okay.
one in the group. Shaz. He's got a secret of mine. And I pray that he keeps it.
Cool.
I will, Theric. You've got my word.
All right. That's fantastic. We have a start. Okay, so the group, after having this being beaten down and struggling their way, trying to make it through the Black Ridge, which is this mountain range east of the country that they're in, they've decided to it's a little bit too much for them. So they turn and talking by the campfire one night, the Nano Balthazar lets them know about this book they're reading, and the only name they have to go on is Guillaume Kittrick, and Jack has a pretty good idea where he lives right now. So they have these Numenera that they can't identify, and they have a man who's a genius. So they have a pretty good idea that if they go meet this guy, they will have some knowledge into what this Numenera is, what they do. In addition to that, they are hurting. Their scores are they're wounded and they're strained. So I'm going to have every character right now start off by taking 6 points down. 6 points from any category.
Oh,
Add it up, right?
Well,
So like 2 from might, 2 from speed.
Wherever you want to put them, that's right. And in your items, you will each have 1 cipher that you know about, which we went over we'll maybe talk about a little bit now, as well as for the Nano, 2 ciphers that he doesn't recognize, the Jack and the 2 Glaives, 1 item, 1 cipher that they don't know about.
interesting. So we can decide where we want to take the points out of, like we can do 2, 2, 2, or 5 and 1 or something.
You got it. So from either your intellect, your speed, or your might.
All right. I'm gonna take 5 from my might and 1 from my speed, cause why not?
Right, sounds good. Everyone set?
We're supposed to go to this Carnelian place?
The place, as Brandy Jack has told you, is called Carnelian.
Carnelian's good place.
He's never been there, but he has,
Probably.
Brandy Jack has talked to a lot of people, and from talking to people, he's heard about this place, and the rumor has it that Guillaume Kittrick is kind of, he's kind of a recluse, and it's a small village, so he finds a means to basically be left alone in this village while doing his work. One other thing you know about Guillaume Kittrick, especially from the Nano's reading, is that he's a genius about astrology, which helps.
So
as
we're
well.
looking for this genius about astrology because he's got secrets to the Numenera, correct?
Yep, that's the motivation. Also, you guys are just beaten down, so you need a place to rest, and the village is not too far as you seem to think.
I'm thinking this is a good place to go.
Yeah, it's found in the southeastern territories of Navarine, which is one of the rich countries. It's close enough to the border of Thamor that the people rarely claim fealty to either country, but still being in Navarine has allowed for them to thrive in trade. It's a very wealthy country, so they can still thrive, and they reap the benefits of being there.
Sounds good. So what time is it now?
It is, if you guys are traveling towards there, I'm going to start you, you guys decide to travel there, I imagine, we'll say that. It is midday, and upon your travels, you guys have been working your way, you guys are wounded, it has been slow going, but slowly by slowly, the woods and the atmosphere has changed around you. No longer is it as rugged, it's looking more like farmland, a lot more flat, less trees, that type of thing. And coming out of the bushes, and you see a gentleman there, and he's beside an automaton, and you hear him swearing and cursing.
Does he look dangerous?
The automaton or the gentleman?
I guess the gentleman.
He has in his disposal right now what looks to be a hoe. And I mean the tool for cultivation.
Is she a
Thank you for
sexy
clarifying.
hoe?
And it's automaton.
The
What
automaton,
nature is it?
it is a metal automaton. It isn't very intricate. You can't see it too much like armament to it, so you can see basically the skeletal structure that it has, and it has two very long cylindrical arms that don't have fingers, just these kind of long tubes.
What a useless automaton. You over there, are you having a little trouble?
You see the man startle and look around, and he notices you guys. And he goes, "Oh, who are you?"
Well, we are we're travelers. We're a group. I'm Brandy Jack. This year's Pivot. We got Shaz over there, and this rugged hunk of man meat over here is my good pal Theric, and we're just passing through.
Well, what are you doing in my field?
I say we mean you no harm. Please. Just
Fair
to
enough.
state it.
And he kind of looks you guys over, and he notices your strange attire. I mean, all of you are either some of you are wearing armor, some of you have weapons at your side. All of you have some sort of cipher, some visible, some not. And then he looks at you and goes, "Are you any good with this sort of thing?"
I'm not. I can't do that stuff for shit. But I am going to sit down. I am tired.
And he kind of he looks over at a Pivot, and he goes. He kind of just gives him a once over, looking at his arm and looking back at the machine itself, and you can read his mind.
Yeah, I say, I may be able to have a look at it, sir. As I move my metallic arm around.
I suppose if you wanted to look at it, hey, you could do me that favor. I'll allow for you to walk through my field.
And I join Pivot, and I suggest that I'll go with them, and maybe we'll take a look at this automaton.
That was kind of a...
Automaton.
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 So he was kind of
Automated,
thinking,
basically.
Ottoman
Automated
Empire.
And I will stroll right up to him.
Yep.
Or be like,
And when you approach him, you actually notice that there's a little boy that's actually he's about 13 years old, and he's kind of cowering behind the man, and he's kind of like he's also got a tool in his hand, a pitchfork. He obviously has been helping his dad out.
fine. I pay no attention to him. I focus eyes right on the man.
Well, I mean, it's just the stupidest piece of technology. I don't even know why I bought it in the first place. It's supposed to be helping me. What?
No use to me. What I need to know is how to get to Carnelian. Do you know the way? And
Know
how
the
far
way?
do you need?
There's a cat. We have to drink.
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 By the way, those new to watching is one of the things we decided at the character creation is every time we see a cat, you
Or
take
hear
a
a cat.
drink. Or hear a cat. It's the Numenera drinking game by INVICTUS Stream. Make sure you take a drink.
Who was it that came up with it? Do we remember?
Gabe,
Jason?
JD. I think it was JD.
With the JD?
Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm just gonna be hanging back. I'm gonna lean against a tree and put my feet up, and I'm just gonna take a sip from my flask. Although I am gonna whistle to Shaz.
So I look back.
You're sitting down in the field.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chill against a tree, get some shade.
Yeah. Wonderful.
I
So-
look back. I look back at Brandy Jack and I say, I kind of give him a look, like, "What's up?"
I kind of say, hey, people, hey, I love nanos. Don't get me wrong, man. People can be a little shy of them. Hey, there's a shady spot right here next to me.
So, do you know the way to Carnelian or not?
He looks at you, Theric, and he goes, "Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Why should I tell you? Are you going to help me or not? You're in my
Be
field."
polite, for one, as we are
tell
weary
you what.
travelers.
I tell you what. Yeah, but you're in my field. You help me with this, and maybe I'll give you some information.
So while Theric is glaring at the man and talking to him. I'm.
Yeah, it's getting kind of awkward for sure. You see that the kid's kind of like, Dad, this guy looks pretty tough.
It's like Mommy just hit Daddy at the dinner table and everyone's trying to keep eating.
I've taken out a pair of reading glasses from my pocket that are bandaged in the middle.
You're like the Beast.
And I'm just looking at the automaton, and I sense the awkwardness behind me, and I just say, "What seems to be the problem with it?"
Well, it wasn't working not a span ago, and then I went and got some parts from Tan, and she said this would do the job, and sure enough, it worked for a little bit, but now he just won't plant anymore, and what good is it? A piece of metal sitting in my field. Perhaps it'll keep the crows away.
Yeah, okay.
As these guys are talking, and I'm kind of standing off to the side, but still up next to Pivot and Theric, I kind of take a kneel down to the kid, and I use my hedge magic, and I lift a couple stones up, and they kind of float around, sort of to entertain the kid, to show him that I'm not nothing to be feared, but more just a magician.
Well, you see the kid's eyes just like so big. He's like, oh my god, I've never seen anything
or
like
excitement?
that.
Like
More, no, it's
or
not
like
but he's kind of like just awe, and you can see him tugging at his dad's coat, like, Dad, check this shit out, Dad. And the dad kind of like, whatever, leave me alone. I'm doing business. You see?
So can I do a mechanics roll?
I would love for you to try to figure out what's wrong with the automaton. So right now I'm going to tell you, because it's a fairly basic mechanism. It's not going to be too challenging. Okay. So right off the bat, as far as I'm concerned, it is considered a standard action. So you'll need a target number of 6. You need to beat a 6.
All right.
Now, do you want to apply any? Do you have any items you think would help you? Some artifact.
Metallic cream, or magnetic cream. That's my cipher.
Yeah, the hoe goes into it.
There we go. That ought to do it.
The first time he had a hoe fly in his face.
Oh! You know what? I think I'm just gonna risk it. I'd have to use probably intellect, because I'm just looking at it, and I don't have a lot of intellect to begin with.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna look it over, see what I can do. I'm rolling my 20, and it's a 2.
Whoa! So that's funny.
So I look it over.
So you don't see anything. You don't know what's wrong with it. It is a fairly simple diodes and wires and that type of thing. And looking through it, doesn't seem to be anything out of place. But you could definitely make something up, because you also know that the farmer's not too intelligent.
Okay. So I say...
I got something against farmers. If we go from our... Some might say he's ignorant.
Oh, I forgot about that. So I turn back to the man, and I say, well, sir, it looks like this is beyond my expertise, but there is a man in Carnelian who we are actually going to see right now, who may know how to fix this here problem you got.
He says, you talk funny. You mean Carnelian?
That's what I said, Carnelian.
And then
it's Carnelian, man. It's Pivot. It's Carnelian, man.
Okay. And then he goes,
that's my bad. I pronounced it wrong earlier.
If I tell you, do you promise you'll come back and help me out?
You have my word.
And he presses a button on the automaton, and it folds up slightly. Its knees tuck into its chest, and it's no longer, you could carry it if you wanted to. And he says, well, to tell you the truth, you're in Carnelian. I often do my trade. You'll find the center of town is just, you keep walking that way, maybe 2 kilometers, and once you get over the ridge, you'll see it.
Very nice. Thank you very much, sir. And do you want a hand carrying this thing back to your farm so it's not in the middle of the field?
I thought you'd take it with you.
We can take it with us too. That's no problem. But
Take my hands, boss.
I killed him. I killed him.
I figured that's fine. We'll take it with us. I figured you wouldn't have wanted off the property because it's obviously a valuable item.
You know, and I hear this, and I kind of stand up and I say it, and I turn to Pivot. I said, "Let me have a look. Let me take a look at it. Maybe we can fix it right here. This farmer's been helpful enough to kind of show us where Carnelian is."
Carnelian.
Written on your
There's an N on the end. Carnelian.
Carnelian. Oh, it is an N.
Yeah.
Good. So I would like to use my intellect and take a look at this thing.
So because a character has already tried,
Yeah.
I will allow you to, but you have to spend at least one tier of effort.
Ooh, that means your intellect will drop by 3 unless you got an edge.
If it's worth it to you, you can spend 3 points of effort, but
It's either that or we take this thing with us and then have to come back to see this farmer after we go. Yeah, otherwise we break.
You could literally take the thing with you and never come back too. That's an option.
Well,
What kind of group are we, Brandy Jack? What do you think?
I stand up and I walk over. I'm like, all right, what's all the hubbub? We got to carry this thing into town. Look, buddy, you bought the parts. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't come with us and bring it. You can fix it yourself and come back. There's no sense. We're not coming back this way.
All right, can you do try and convince him?
Sure.
So let's have you do a roll. This is kind of he looks at you and he kind of is taken back a little bit, kind of impressed. You can tell by your stature and the way that you communicate. So go ahead and make a roll. I'm not going to tell you. We'll say it's a standard action.
4.
But you are skilled.
Oh yeah, I'm personable. I have natural charisma, all social interactions, pleasant social interaction. Those are my 4. What do I do with them?
Might decrease it. You might have a.
So you are successful.
2 levels, right?
Yeah. So you know what? To tell you the truth, you didn't need to roll it because of those abilities. So he looks at you and goes, "Well, it seems like that's a good idea. I think I will do that."
Well, you know, you want to tell them off. I mean, they sold you the faulty part. They're the ones who said it's going to be easy, and now you're out here lugging this thing, trying to put it back in, and look at you. You have to stumble upon 4 assholes, and they waste your time. You got to go give them a piece of your mind. And in fact, you can even come with us. We can make sure the way's safe.
He goes, "They did sell me that stupid part, and you are wasting my time."
Exactly.
He picks the thing up and goes, "Follow me, I'll take you into town." And then the son comes up to him and he's like, "But Pa, what about the planting? You know, don't we need to plant today?" And he's like,
planting.
Yeah, you can do it without me. But make sure you go home after it's bath night." And the kid's like, "No, I'm not doing that, Pa. I'm gonna go after this. I got my own things to do." And the Pa's like, whatever.
I'm like, "Kid, no, you need a bath." He said bath. You take it. Come on.
So you convince him as well. I am too powerful. Kid's like, "Bass, yes." So anyways, you guys trudge through the muddy field. You think he's trying to grow some root vegetables. He's not doing so well. You eventually pass by his house, and it's going to be it's a typical type of village house. It's scrounged together by salvaged materials as well as wood and stone that it's found. Yes.
Sorry, while we're
Claire.
passing by all the plants and I can see it's not successful, can I use my using plants or identifying plants or anything along those lines to be like, "Hey, you know what this needs?
Is that one of your skills?
Too bad there's a drought in California."
Yeah,
Is
go
that
ahead.
seriously one of your skills? Identifying plants?
Yeah, that's a platoon.
Yeah, go ahead. So you have that skill you're going to use?
I guess it would be using plants, I guess, because I'm trying to grow it, maybe?
Yeah, we'll say that.
Okay, so I just roll a 1d20?
Yep.
Alright. And what? Okay, you can see it. I got a 14.
So just so you know, we will get used to the how it works. What I said was that was a standard action, so a typical task requiring focus, but most people can usually do this. You had a asset, or sorry, you had an ability that lowered it. So instead of being a 2, it becomes a 1. I multiply that by 3. You had to roll a 3 in order to be successful. So what you realize he's done is that he has not been rotating his crops properly. The nitrogen in the soil is too low, so you can let him know if you want, but basically it's just a stupid mistake that a farmer should be aware of.
So we're dealing with kind of an idiot here.
So I don't know. Yeah, you kind of look through the soil. You see he's trying to grow a root-like vegetable, a starchy vegetable that actually continually takes away from the soil, and you need to rotate it with some other things.
You're doing this wrong.
You can see he looks over and he's like, "What are you talking about?"
This is not how you grow a crop.
He's like, "How would you know?"
How many seasons have you planted in the same field?
I've been doing this since I was a boy. This is my field. I'll plant till I die in it.
Well, that may be sooner than you think.
Okay, so what I think Theric is trying to say, Theric, do you think maybe he needs to change something? What is he doing wrong?
So we have a Pence character.
Keep growing the same crop in the same field.
So what should he be doing?
These are living beings. They need food. They need nutrients to make them strong, like Theric. You need a variety. You need to change it up every now and then.
I don't grow variety. I grow taters.
And you're doing it wrong.
Do you want me to show you how to get there, or do you want me to hit you with this hoe?
So, Theric, wrong. It's such a subjective term. I mean, he's happy.
Not if you want them to grow, it's not.
I'm not disagreeing with that per se, but I think the guy is leading us to where we need to go. So maybe we will later.
All right, so you can see he ruffled some feathers of the farmer, and he seems to be standing away from Theric, but he keeps looking over at him a little menacingly.
When's the last time you planted in that field there?
I go and situate myself between Theric and the man.
I didn't know. So Theric is exceptionally passionate about crops.
And I tap Pivot on the back. I'm kind of like, look, man, you better just stay between them. And I back away to the back of the line. I'm like.
So as you guys are walking to the field, he eventually introduces himself as Stanton Highland. And you can see he's got a fairly big-sized piece of land, and some things are growing successfully. This particular patch of land has not been successful, and it is due to what Theric has said so impolitely. And as you're walking through, he's showing you the landscape, and it is fairly flat, but you can tell you're on a plateau, and it just drops off on either side. So as you're walking along, you get this view to the north of you, and what it is the landscape drops down, and all of a sudden it becomes very lush, and there's a tree line that comes up, and in that tree line above the trees there are these pieces of rock and land masses that are floating around, with some of them even have waterfalls falling off them into the very lush area below. And he points down and says, "That's the bog. My son runs down there every bath night, and I bet you he'll do it tonight, especially with me not being home." So he keeps walking. Eventually, you come to what looks like you're overlooking this village. And the village is situated in a kind of haphazard way, and you can't understand how it's been placed. It almost looks like each building has, like, it's no grid pattern. It's not like there's rows of houses. There's nothing. It's just these randomly placed houses or in buildings. And at the far end, you see this figure, and it's massive, and it looks almost like it's half covered in the ground, and it's giant, and it's this human figure, and it looks like it's overseeing the village.
Wow. Okay. Does it look like it's made of metal, or can we see it from here?
From where you see, it looks like it is covered in mosses and stone and even some trees growing out some parts of it, but it has the appearance of a human form.
Using my current knowledge and the fact that I'm learned in this sort of thing, like in the history, do I recognize this thing at all? The statue?
You've never seen this before. This isn't uncommon in Numenera to see. You assume it's some sort of artifact or something buried in the earth that the village has situated itself around and in front of. So I will show you a picture of what it looks like.
Visual aids!
My favorite.
So this is picture this type of thing, but a lot bigger. And you can't see the detail that's placed in this, but you get the idea. And this massive thing overlooks the very few strangely miscellaneously placed buildings.
So it's like a shrine of sorts.
Well, if you got closer, yes. You wouldn't see it from there, but yes, it will be a shrine of sorts.
Oh, okay.
But it's massive, much bigger than this picture alludes to.
Okay.
What is this? A shrine for ants?
Well, even in this picture, it's pretty massive. I mean, those are people up close to it, right?
Sure. Yeah. I go up to Brandy, and I say, "Hey, Brandy, it's a pretty small town. There's a good chance this farmer knows exactly where we can find a geome Kittrick."
Think we should just ask him?
Well, you do the talking. I'm done with talking today.
All right. Well, hey, do we want? Yeah, I guess there's no reason not to ask him, right? I mean, we don't want to be under the radar for this. The guy's well known.
Yeah, a bunch of travelers walking into a small town. People are gonna know we're here no matter what.
It's nice to have an introduction.
Good call. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let me ask him. Hey, Cornel, what's your you farmer?
Stanton.
Staten Island. Get over here. Staten Island.
That's funny because his name is Stanton Highland.
I know, that's what I heard. Yeah, Staten Island, New York.
I didn't even hear for a second.
Good man.
Yeah, so he walks over to you, kind of like, he kind of likes you. You can get the impression that he wants to be your buddy.
Well, you know what? Hey,
everybody does.
You can buy me a drink later, buddy. Any idea where the name? I wrote it down. Geome Kittrick. Is that ringing anything?
And you can tell he really wants to tell you. He's thinking so hard it almost looks painful. And he looks so disappointed when he says, "Sorry, Brandy, I don't get into town much, and I've never heard that name."
Hey, it's okay. It's not your fault.
It's not okay, and he throws a rock down and kind of walks off.
Staten Island, bro, it's okay. Meet me at the bar later. Buy me a drink.
The name is Stanton Highland, but whatever you want to call me.
Well,
actually,
it's like a nickname.
Highland, not Stanton.
Fair enough. Stanton Highland.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't know.
So, getting closer to the town, you realize that there's only really two what you could call streets, even though there are all these houses kind of and these buildings along the way that don't make it look like a street per se, but there is definitely two paths that intersect through the town.
What the hell is so funny?
I don't know.
Someone just die. Death is always funny.
So I guess we're walking towards his town.
No, it's funny because Zara, my wife is watching this, and she's just watching like 2 minutes later, so she's just laughing about the interaction now, just with the farmer.
Oh. Well, good.
So, anyways,
thanks, Zara. She's going to see this in about 2 minutes. So, Zara, at this point, shout, "Yeah!" and we'll hear it.
Yeah!
Now watch, you'll hear it in like 30 seconds.
No, she's too embarrahed. She heard it. She doesn't want
fair enough. Okay.
So, anyways, yeah. So you see that, and Stanton kind of looks at you, and goes, "Well, there's the town. I'm gonna go do my, find the people I need to talk to. Feel free. There's a few good places. The Fog and Folly is quite, fun if you're looking for." And he notices the drink that you keep touching.
She did it!
I'm going to give 1 experience point there. Which brings me to a good point. You guys are all going to start with. I'm going to give each of you 2 experience points.
Oh, nice.
Because of all your backgrounds, I thought they were quite well done, so you can use those throughout the game. Mike, who doesn't know how to use experience points, because he's ignorant like farmers.
Farmers are taking a beating in this story.
I'm just going to own it now.
Keep watching, because we're going to be killing farmers later.
This whole campaign is just a farmer slaughter fest.
It's called Screw Farmers and everything they stand for.
Okay, so here's what you can do with your experience points. You can spend 1 experience point to re-roll any die and choose one of the 2 die rolls, obviously. You can resist a GM intrusion, which is something you will come across later on. You can do a short to medium result, which is basically there's a time-specific skill that you can give yourself, such as, in this area, I recognize the locks because they're similar to the locks that my blacksmith back in my hometown made, so I have some skill in that. So from that point on, in that area, you'd have an advantage to that. You can use 3 points for long-term, which gives you +1 to a roll, and resources. So basically, it's almost like having a skill, but it's after the roll. The last is the tier advancement. So for 4 points, you can move yourself up in the tiers. You have to spend 4 tier advancement points, so 4 times 4, in order to go up a tier.
So 16. I'm good at math.
Yeah, so you can find that in the core book if you're interested at any point, but just keep that. Be aware that that's what you can use your points for throughout. Okay, so...
well, hold on. Before we do that, I just want to thank everybody for watching quickly because we're having a lot of fun. If you want to tweet us, please tweet us. If you want to chat with us, please chat with us in the live YouTube thing. Also, we have a little Facebook group. Just Google the INVICTUS stream, and we put everything right there. Chris, right back to you.
Oh, whoa.
Sorry, right back to the pivot.
With the people watching, and if you do send us tweets, we are in the process of making an experience system for people watching. So I'm going to be keeping track of everybody who is watching and contributing to our Twitter feed and saying, hey, like, you guys should do this now, you guys should do this, and making suggestions, that sort of thing. So we've already had Zara, who's got some experience. Who else made a comment today?
Gabe started off, and there's a bunch of people in the chats that are throwing out some suggestions. So I'm going to say we'll limit it to Twitter or Facebook because a lot of people don't have Twitter. So you can join the Facebook group, and I'll add you immediately. And if you post good advice in Facebook, those will be the 2 mediums that we'll award experience to, just because the chat is really constantly rolling. So it's a little tough to keep on top of it.
Yeah, cool. And we're going to award the experience at the end of the round, at the end of the game. And the experience system will be consistent with that of our last games. I'm not going to change it up. The currency is just too complicated.
Too complicated. We can't.
Too complicated.
What's the math? I don't know the math.
Stanton Highland shakes Brandy Jack's hand and goes, "Thank you for everything. I really love it."
And Arnold. Dylan, son of a bitch.
I hope to see you at the Fog and Folly. Perhaps we can share a fizz together. And then he goes over to. All the other members and shakes their hand, except for Theric. He kind of just snubs and spits on the ground and walks away.
As he's walking, I will grab him.
Yep. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing?"
All I need you to do is change which fucking field you plant in every once in a while.
He feels the strength in your grasp, and if you were a lesser man, he would have swung his hoe so hard at you. But you intimidated him quite a bit there, and if you didn't know any better, he peed himself.
He did.
So he walks away in a hurry, and he looks back at Brandy Jack to shame and runs into the town.
And as he looks back, I'm kind of like, maybe do it.
No,
Derek's the kind of guy that will follow you and make sure you do it.
So okay, that happened. So you met the farmer around midday. It's getting later in the afternoon. Interesting fact: in the ninth world, the days are 28 hours long. So it gives you a little bit more time. Otherwise, if we were, it'd be evening here. But The sun has behind the not statue, the big rock golem type humanoid thing in the ground, and it's casting a shadow over the town a little bit.
What's the word on that automaton? Did we bring that with us, Brandon?
No, he took it with Stanton was carrying it, and he carried it with him off.
Okay, so let's keep that in mind that we did say that we would tell Geom about that.
Did we say that? I thought we were just going to help him, get here.
You're under the impression that Stanton was invigorated by the speech that Brandy Jack did, and he's going to go argue till he's blue in the face about the faulty part or whatever it was that he bought to make it work.
That makes sense. You know what? I missed
It'll be more convincing now that he smells like urine.
Yep, it's, I don't...
I'm so mad I pissed myself.
The damn
literally
Pissed myself. So we're in Carnelian.
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 Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yes, we are in Carnelian. You're overlooking the town a little bit.
So we're looking for Geom. Huh. Where do we start, guys?
So, yeah, there's most of the buildings there kind of look like they're inhabitants. There's a few buildings that are definitely out of a little bit bigger and different shaped. One of them, in fact, looks like it shouldn't be standing at all and defies gravity, being that the base itself is exceptionally narrow. It looks like it's like a upside-down Christmas tree almost in these modular pieces that are attached to it. You definitely know that this is not something that was just made with bare hands, and it is not scavenged. It all seems to be one material. That's closer to the middle of town. You see another big building when you're overlooking to the far end, much closer to the golem. We'll call it the golem for now, or sleeping giant, whatever you want to say. And in the middle of town, there appears to be a gathering of people.
I have a feeling that only a nano or someone very powerful with esoteries and the use of the Numenera could build a structure that sits like that. And I point to the building that's got the narrow bottom and the heavy top. And I don't know how to go about this, guys, but maybe we should just knock on the door. Have Brandy Jack introduce himself and that we're looking for Geom.
Well,
what do you guys
I ain't against it, but I mean, how many houses are here roughly?
If you're looking, you can actually see the majority of the town, and they're not. You'd say the population of the town had to be under 1,000.
Are there people walking by in the streets?
Where you're standing, not so much, but you can see people walking in the streets. Yep.
Okay, I turn to Shaz and I say, 2 seconds, and I run over to the nearest one.
You run to a woman. She seems to be in her late 20s. She's very pretty, but also plain at the same time. Not a lot of baubles and things like that. But
well, that ain't bad.
And she's well kept. Her clothes are clean, but very plain also.
Okay.
And she sees you and she gives you a smile and says, "Hello."
I say, "Hi. What's your name?"
My name is Mel.
Mel, I gotta say, you are stunning. You are just one of the most fair creatures I have ever seen.
Okay, I'm gonna have
you smell nice, Mel.
Derek?
No. Go back, Derek. Go back. No, bad, Derek. I want you to do a roll for that. So we'll see how she takes that.
Okay.
So let's do a. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna say it's a demanding task because she is kind of shrewd. No, we didn't say that. We'll see.
Oh, hope. 16.
Okay, so again, we're gonna let that pass, but you didn't tell me your skills. So I want you every time we have a roll. First thing you should tell me is if you're gonna use effort. Second thing is if you have skills, and third thing is if you have any items or ciphers that you want to use. Not a problem. She takes that as a compliment. And she goes, "Oh, well, thank you, kind stranger. What's your name again?"
Brandy Jack. You might have heard.
Is that weird? Am I like doing a weird? Should I just state my normal voice?
Keep going.
Okay. I need the high pitched voice to get into the zone. Otherwise, I'm just flirting with you, and I've flirted with you before.
I know, it's like not role-playing anymore.
Exactly.
Not that we don't role-play.
No, we don't. Not when we're doing what we do. Brandy Jack. Name's Brandy Jack. You might have heard of the Jackdaws. You know, we have a group. It's not important. But I had to stop you for that. Oh, side note, Guillaume Kittrick. Ring any bells? How long you lived in this town? Guillaume Kittrick. We're just looking for him. Old friend of mine.
Guillaume Kittrick.
Yes, that's...
You know, I don't know, but you know who might know is, well, you know, everybody knows Ton and or even well, you could go to Fenton Miles, too. Fenton Miles, he might know.
Fenton Miles, eh?
Yeah, but my best guess is Tom or Murray Steep or Malacrin.
Right, sweetheart. I bad with remembering things.
She looks you over, and she sees that. Well, she looks you over.
Yes, she does.
That's the first thing you should know. Secondly, she looks at your appearance and it's disheveled, and you look. I mean, you're still handsome, but you're like rugged, tired, muddy-faced. You've got mud up to your knees because you've been trekking through. Yeah, a little bit more handsome. And then she says, "Well, if I were you, I would go for."
Uh-oh. For whom? For whom?
Oh no!
Your mic cut out. That's the worst
Yeah.
point.
Oh no! Can you still hear
there
me?
we go. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, sorry. I would go to the Fog and Folly and talk to Malacrin. He knows most things that are going on in town.
Sounds great. Sweetheart, it was a pleasure. And I turn heel and I start to walk away. And then I stop myself and go back and say, but, you know, maybe we can hang out later. Did you want to go to the Fog with us? I would happily buy you a drink, and maybe you can buy me one.
And she kind of looks at you, and you all of a sudden notice the underbite that you didn't notice before. And it is big. It is a big underbite, and her teeth are actually blackened in a few places.
And I said, you know, on second thought, actually, we are good. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I walk
She
back
goes,
to
but wait. And then you see she's put off.
Good, see you there. And I walk back to the group, and I say, I forget the name of the person.
Let's get a drink.
No, that's what I say. That's what I literally say, because I, as Brandy Jack, have a horrible short-term memory and long-term memory. I retain information very poorly. I think it was Fenton or Tom Fenton, Tom Felton. Tom Felton. We need to find Tom Felton, and I remember her saying he's near a bar.
Really?
Sure.
He's near a bar, eh?
I think, or he was in Harry Potter or something. No, you know what it was? Fenton Thomas.
Fenton Thomas.
Yeah,
and he's at the bar, you say.
Yeah, I don't remember. But you know what? Staten Island did tell us to head to a bar, so I say we just go to a bar.
You want to go to the Fog and Folly?
Let me try this again. While you were flirting. And I must say, not a bad choice, because she obviously has bathed recently. I believe the names were Fenton Miles.
Ah, there you go.
There was a Thomas. It was Malacrin that would be at the bar.
Right.
I second going to the bar. We could find Guillaume there.
I just want to clarify, there was no Thomas. It probably was my mic cutting out. It was Ton. It was Ton.
Ton.
T-A-W-N.
Oh, Pawn.
Ton. T as in Thomas.
Oh,
but
T.
on as in on.
So T is in Thomas. So Tom on Tom. I get it. No, I get it. It's Thomas on Tom.
So with
automaton?
No. Okay. It's Thomas Tauntaun. You know, it's like Thomas Tauntaun.
He's totally going to find one. How does he do it? How does he do it?
How does he find those pictures?
And he's smellier on the inside, surprisingly.
But so all the talk about the bar, and everybody else seems to agree, and I just raise my eyebrow at Brandy. Sternly.
Look, man, and I kind of go to him, and Pivot being my best friend, he knows me, and he knows why I want to go to the bar. And I kind of say, I'll have a drink or two. We can We're going there for a reason. Shaz said it. He said we should go to the bar.
I do. I think we might find Geom there. Sorry.
I say, okay, we can go to the bar, but I hold out my hand and give Brandy a knowing look. You don't have to give me all your shins. I'll just look after them for now.
Look, I can have one. Can I keep?
You can have a drink. I'm not going to keep you from having a drink.
Shaz, you have all of a sudden you have the sense that there is definitely some Numenera in the town. You can feel the presence of some items, definitely. And as you're walking through the town and you guys are talking and arguing back and forth, you almost get the impression that there is almost one in every building.
I look at each building individually as we're walking by. Do I see anything on the outside of the building that gives any sort of
indication?
Indication that there's either Numenera on the outside of the building or within it?
Nope. Nope, you don't have any indication. You just sense that there's something in each building. And it's consistent throughout each building. Each building seems to have the same thing.
Huh. Well, I'm not about to jump into these buildings, gentlemen, but I sense Numenera around here. And it's in every building, which is strange. Maybe there's something about this town.
There must be something in the air. Let's go to the bar.
All right, so you're walking through the town, and someone walks by, and he's yelling to his friend, and he says, "Oh, let's go to the Fog and Folly, yeah!" And you kind of follow them, because you really don't know where the bar is. And they start walking towards the really misshapen building.
And I lead the way, and I say, "Hey, that just sounds good. Let's go that way."
Did Brandy give me his shins?
I gave you all. I gave you the majority, probably. I kept one. That's all I needed.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So you have one shin.
As we get closer to the Fog and Folly, do I sense the same Numeneran presence there at the Fog and Folly?
You do.
Excellent.
So again, you walk up to the door, and it looks like it would be only like a 10 by 10 room at the base. But at some places, it goes out another 20 feet up top, so it physically shouldn't be standing. Pieces should be falling off, and it is all this consistent gray-looking material.
I go up to the bar and I put my shin down.
So you open the door, and someone's there to greet you, and he goes, "What are you looking for, son?"
A drink, my friend, and I turn to Pivot. What was the guy's name?
Malakrin. We're looking for a man named Malakrin.
What he said.
You've traveled some distance, I can see, to try our fizz. Not a problem. Not here, though. I want you to go up 2 flights of stairs through the, and stay to the left. So you guys go up the stairs, and you open it up, and it is this smoky kind of room. There's some very strange, dissonant music being played. It's upbeat, but it's not something you're used to hearing. And there's a bar, and you walk up to the gentleman. I imagine you say the same thing. I want a drink, and...
Malakrin. We're looking for a man named Malakrin.
And what he said. But the drink first.
So he looks at the shin and he goes, "Well, it's going to cost you a shin and a half."
And I turn to Pivot.
And I reach into my pocket and I hold the shin on the table. And I am a little frustrated because the first bartender didn't tell me anything about Malakrin. And the second bartender...
This is the first bartender. The other person just seems to be helping people find the different areas within the building.
And I'm just frustrated because I'm tired.
Yes, you are.
I pass the shin across.
All right.
Thank you for giving me back my own shins.
The strapping young man turns away from you, and you hear this hissing noise and steam going everywhere. And he's screwing a cap on something, and he turns back to you, hands you this cylinder-looking thing with a round bottle, so it's clear round bottom that you clearly can't put down, and it's got a liquid in it and a straw.
I throw the straw away.
And you realize that it's sealed and you can't get at it without the
God
straw.
damn it! Can I have another straw, please?
The guy laughs and says foreigners, and he hands you the straw.
Yeah.
So he punctures the thing, and instantly the liquid starts to bubble, and it starts to fizz, and all of a sudden it fills with steam and this gas, the green-looking gas. So you start trying to take a sip, and what happens is the vapor goes into the straw, and you feel as if a liquid is rolling down your throat, and instantly you feel a buzz.
Ah. And I am calm, and I feel good now.
Yeah. And it is probably one of the more, it's a little sweet for your tasting, and it doesn't burn the way that you like, but it was really quick to get a buzz.
Now that Brandy Jack's thirst is sated, where can I find someone to mate with?
Mate with?
There was this nice broad with blackened teeth outside, Mel. She's a sweetheart. Go find her.
You don't say that about Mel.
And I turned to the bartender.
What are you? You guys can't just come in here and take her women.
What? She don't got black teeth? I'm just
And who's to say they'd want you anyways?
Whoa! Hey!
He's a strapping guy. He's young. He looks, pretty muscular.
And I say, young, strapping. It's cool.
The name.
And I immediately slide into a conversation, and I go to a booth and sit down.
So I turn to Shaz, and I say, "Are you and I the only ones who actually care about finding Malakrin?"
I think so, Pivot. I think so.
You see,
And I scream from the back, I do too!
So Tom, you can hear him over here about Malakrin, and he goes, "You're looking for my Malakrin. You sure you're looking for Malakrin?"
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, he says, he points over to a corner, and you see a man working on some sort of piping machine that's coming out of the floor. And it's a wisp of a man, a very small guy with a big mustache. I said, that's Malakrin, and he owns the place, so you treat him with respect.
So before Pivot... Sorry,
What?
go ahead, Derek.
I just said I'd start walking over.
Oh, I was going to say, maybe while we're trying to talk to this McClacken guy, what's his name, Malakrin? You can find yourself a room and a nice lady. What do you think, Derek? Or you want to come with us?
You're not mating with him. He said we should respect him.
Okay, you kind of get the impression also that the machine or whatever it is he's working on is the Numenera that's giving you the resonance throughout the town.
Oh.
All right, let's go talk to Malakrin here.
All right, and I finish my drink and stand up and join them. Okay. And I walk to Pivot, and I'm like, look, I'm good. I am on it. Malakrin. Genome Kitrin. Genome...
So you're practicing this as you walk by?
Yeah, I'm just kind of...
And people are kind of looking over at you guys, and you guys are weird to them, and they're kind of moving away from you a little bit. What was kind of like a bustling place, people interacting, they've kind of started to become wallflowers and giving you space.
Look,
All right.
when we get up to Malakrin, I want you just to be careful. I sense a lot of Numenera magic coming off of whatever he's doing there, so let's just keep that about us, all right? But keep it to yourself.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good call. I didn't sense any, so I appreciate that. And this is the guy we're after? And I point to the guy.
And you're pointing to for who? For Shaz?
I'm just pointing at the guy that we're walking towards.
Short guy with a mustache.
Yeah.
Working on the machine. That's the guy we're looking for. That's Malakrin. He might be able to show us where Geome is.
And I kind of stop.
Melgirl.
I kind of stop behind and I kind of hold Pivot and Shaz's shoulders and kind of turn them into a quick pyramid before we approach. And I say, I love Theric. Great guy. But, do we want to involve him in the dialogue at this point?
You know what? Theric's a really nice guy. I just think he's got a certain
Loose tongue.
loose tongue. That's a good way to put it, Pivot.
Agreed, but if he threatens to pull out the guy's tongue when we're trying to talk to him, he's not going to be too useful to us. And I can't keep the guy on a leash. Nothing. Nothing, Eric. But you know what? I saw someone suspicious, eyeing us. And you should be there with us, with Malakrin. I'm not cutting you out. But I still think someone's got to be watching our back from there, keeping a look over the shoulder and not really paying attention to what's going on.
Pivot, can you do a roll for me?
Yes, I can. A mystery roll.
A mystery roll.
Oh, is this GM
Intrusion?
I rolled an 11.
Okay, so you notice that the temperature in the room keeps fluctuating. Sometimes you feel goosebumps on your skin. Other times it's almost a few degrees way too hot. But almost imperceptible to most people, but you seem to notice it, especially with the cramping in your arm. Because the change of temperature doesn't work well between the metal and the flesh part, because the flesh and the metal will expand and shrink at different rates, so it actually aches a little bit at points, and so you do notice that.
Okay, cool. And I mentioned it to Shaz, and I don't know if you noticed, but the temperature's changing in here. Might have something to do with that device. Maybe. Does the guy working on it, Malakrin, does he look like he's frantically trying to keep things
No, it
together?
looks like he's rubbing his head a little bit, and he's adjusting things, but he's doing it in a tentative way. He's almost like it's important to him, but he's not like the farmer who looked like he would have hit it with a hammer. He's doing it in kind of a skilled, slow manner.
All right.
You may
Not
have
like those ignorant farmers, eh, Chris?
What's that?
Not like those ignorant farmers.
That ignorant farmer. All other farmers in my game from now on are going to be genius nanos. With crops up to the elephant's eye.
You might have something there, Pivot. That machine could be. It could be the boiler.
Yeah, might be the boiler. Might not be Numenera.
Absolutely.
Or maybe both. All right.
So
do we? I guess we're going up. We're talking to him. He doesn't look terribly intimidating.
Well, look, we're only trying to speak to this guy so that we can figure out where Geome is.
Trick. Yeah.
Gino.
As you guys are talking, you see a couple of girls and a couple of guys looking at Brandy Jack, and a gentleman walks over and goes, "Hey, can I buy you a fizz?"
And I look at Pivot, and I look back at him, and I look him up and down. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
but-
walks over to.
But meet me at the bar. I'll meet you at the bar shortly.
He winks at you and walks away to the bar.
And I wink back.
That,
I know what kind of bar we're in.
It's called the Fizz and Pop.
no, it's called the Fog and Folly,
It's just as
And-
gay.
and it's the Ninth World. So
There you go. Anything goes.
So
That's right.
we're kind of all standing in a group, the four of us, right?
yeah, it's really awkward for everybody around you.
Okay. I start walking towards him, and I just turn around real short, and I say, look, Shaz, if you feel anything going on with the Numenera, let Pivot or myself or even Theric know so we can GTFO if something goes wrong. Get the fuck out.
Absolutely.
Pivot, any thoughts before I go in on this?
I say, I think you may be onto something when you were talking about other people watching us. I think maybe Theric and I should just wait back here, let you guys do the talking.
And I turn to Theric. Would that be okay?
That is fine. In the meantime, I will look for women that will mate for shims.
And I say, and you know what? Just in case you can't find them, I will help you. Okay. And then Shaz and I turn around.
And Brandy Jack.
So I've got a bit of a plan. I'm thinking that, Brandy Jack, if you and Pivot go and talk to McClucken, whatever the fuck his name is, McCracken?
Zach McCracken and the aliens from outer space.
I'm going to ask everybody to take another 4 points of strain, just because it's, you've just walked a fair distance and you guys are beaten down. So.
Oh man.
I really hope we don't get in a fight.
Let's just speak to McCracken. Let's get a room here for the night, but speak to him first, just in case he leaves. Then we can rest and figure this shit out for the morning.
Yeah,
It's getting late.
Okay.
4 points.
4 points. So
right.
so Pivot, you want to come with me instead, and Shaz, you want to keep an eye out?
I'll keep an eye out with as long as Theric is willing to keep an eye out with me. Just kind of step back. We'll go looking at women.
Okay, so
the
the man behind the bar sees you guys hemming and hawing in kind of this huddle, not deciding whether or not to go to Malakrin.
No, Pivot and I just start walking.
Yeah.
Okay, so Malakrin, he hears you coming, and he goes, "Hang on a second."
And I go, okay. And I turn to Pivot, and I'm just like, we just want to ask him where this. We just want to ask him where the guy is, right?
So you see him, he's turning something, and all of a sudden he goes like this. And he turns to look at you, and all of a sudden you notice one of his eyes is actually halfway down his cheek. Not
and I go to
hanging
pick
out,
it up,
but...
and I go, oh, well, let me help you with that.
No, it's his eye socket. His eye actually resides here.
Oh. Okay.
It's not unnormal. It's not uncommon in the Ninth World to see people with slight mutations. So he looks over at you, and but what is unnerving is that eye never blinks. His other eye blinks, so it almost seems like he's winking at you, and the stare from that eye is uncomfortable. But
Must get very dry.
He dabs it with a cloth.
He wipes it.
What can I help you with?
Can you take a moment of your time, sir?
What can I do for you, gentlemen?
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, share that.
Just a bit of a visual.
It's like a bar.
That's it.
The Ninth World. It's so mystical. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
Well, we came a long way, and we're quite tired. But we're looking for a man named Geom Kittrick. Not many people in the town seem to know who this man is. We thought maybe you would.
Hey, you're looking for Crazy Kittrick.
Crazy Kittrick.
Yeah, a lot of people probably don't know him because a lot of people, he's pretty much a recluse. But yeah, my son's over there behind the bar. They quite often do some they bring stuff to him. So yeah, I know who you're talking about.
They bring stuff to him?
Well, a man's got to eat, doesn't he? Well, odds and ends. Sometimes it's items from towns, or sometimes it's some food, but not often food.
So your son, he collects these things? What does he do with them, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. I just bring it to him. It's none of my business.
Fair
so
enough.
You're saying your son brings these things to crazy old Kittrick when he needs them, correct?
Well, one of my sons, Tan or Tom, one of the two. They're just doing deliveries. The man pays for the goods.
Okay. Well, when's his next delivery?
Well, I believe Tan will be leaving in the morning. It's not far from here. I could tell you where it is. You could go on your own.
Well, that's actually even better.
In fact, I could really use Tom tomorrow, and if you guys brought the stuff with you, I'd be happy to give you a little bit of the money that we're earning for delivering.
Yeah, I think that's perfect, actually, and I think we will gladly do that.
That being said, he doesn't particularly like visitors. There's one other time there was a gentleman who was a learned gentleman, and he was looking for him, and I know he just wouldn't have it, and he doesn't like seeing people much.
Well, maybe not then. No, we can do it. You know what? We're actually partially old friends of his, insofar as we've heard him and never met him before. But one of those things. There's not a word yet.
Yeah, I give Brandy a slow sideward glance.
He raises an eyebrow on you, but it's unnerving because it's the eyebrow over the already small lower eye. So it's like, oh my god, it's getting further down on his face, it looks like. But
your eye is wet. Did you need me to dry it? I can get a towel from the barman.
It's when it's dry that's the problem, but that's really weird of you to offer.
Brandon,
Yeah.
it's okay. Let it go. Let it go.
He goes, you go talk to Tom over there, and he'll give you the directions. And I hope you guys aren't looking for a place to stay here because we are full up. We're not an inn.
Sure. And can you recommend a place to stay? This town's pretty small.
Well, I wouldn't recommend going there. I would never go there, but Murray Steep over at the Wyndham House, he probably has some place to stay.
Do they have whores in this town?
And he kind of looks at you kind of distastefully, and he goes...
Sorry, beautiful women of the night.
Or men.
Or men.
Goes, I know what you're talking about. And he goes, I think Wyndham House will probably provide what you need over there.
Good. That helps us with one problem. So you don't know much about this crazy old Kittrick, eh?
Well, he lives in a very strange-looking house, just not too far away, and the few times that I've ever seen him, I've really only seen his face. He talks he doesn't really want to talk to me that much.
What you mentioned? No, you didn't mention it. You're working with something. What is this? It's very beautiful. This beautiful intrinsic piece of machinery that you're working here. Isn't this beautiful, Pivot?
And he makes the same sign he saw earlier. He does this. He goes, "Thanks to Melodel." Well, it's a gift, really. Our town has been able to thrive here because of the warmth and the givings of Melodel.
Givings of Melodel? You got someone coming and delivering items to you?
And he goes,
no, this is an Old Spice. This is one of the new flavors.
Melodel.
Givings of Melodel.
So, I'm gonna have Shaz. Can you do a roll?
Absolutely.
It's about your knowledge of Numenera. So tell me if you have anything you want to add to that.
Yeah, well, I've got training in that, so it should bring down whatever by 1, right?
Yep.
So, oh my god.
Whoa!
Okay, so you actually know, yeah, there's a special role for that, but it's out of a combat situation. So actually no, you know what? I will give you I will give you a major effect. So basically, you interject all of a sudden, and you say, "Melodel, Brandy, is the guardian of the town," and he goes, "You know, the beautiful, auspicious being that's outside." You kind of give a knowing nod, and all of a sudden, Malakrin kind of gives you a knowing look, and as you continue, you go, it clearly has provided for the town, and each of these houses have found a way to interact with it, and it provides warmth and safety for them.
That's what I've been sensing all along the street.
Right, and now you know that that's what's in all the other houses, and that's what's been affecting the climate and that type of thing in the house. And you think, and you can feel, that it's actually connected somehow to the giant being that's half buried, and there's probably a lot more to it underground.
Right, because as I know from study that melanel is a natural resource.
Melodel is the name given to the large being that they worship and give offerings to. Yeah.
But is it a mineral type sort of thing that they're burning, or is it just?
No, I think it's a goddess.
Okay, so again, I will be clear. So Melodel is what they've now called the big giant thing that you witnessed. I'll show you the picture again.
Yeah, no, I got that. I just misunderstood. I thought you were saying it was run by Melodel.
So that's Melodel, and more of it's underground. Although it's been covered in the weight of time, you have the suspicion that it's a big machine, or it was a giant being at one time, but now it is stopped and lives here.
It's like the relics.
And there are pipes that are coming up from the machine underground into the houses, allowing for them to be sheltered from the heat and things like that.
So I asked him.
And cold and.
Yeah.
That's a good explanation. Just for our viewers, because as a learned nano, I knew that.
So Malakrin says, I misjudged you, and he puts an arm around Shaz and he says, let me buy you a fizz, and he goes over and he gets you another one of those drinks.
And I turn to Pivot and I say, oh, okay.
Well, with that said, I'd also like to, from my pocket, buy three more drinks for my companions here.
And he goes, you know what? I shouldn't have, but earlier I said we didn't have room. I would be happy to house a few of you here if you need to stay.
All right.
Well done, Shaz. Cha-ching.
So what kind of drinks do they have in the Ninth World? Like, is a water ridiculously expensive? They've got clouds with waterfalls coming down, so it can't be that.
No, not here. I'm sure in some places in desert climates it'd probably be more expensive. But Brandy Jack has noticed that the effects of his drink is instantly worn off. Like, it's been, 5 minutes and it's already gone?
I'm not happy about that.
You're craving another one.
I go meet the guy at the bar.
He goes, oh, hello. let me get you that drink. And he orders another one, but this one's a double. And again, same thing. You puncture it and you suck back the steam, and you feel about the same as before. It takes you longer to drink it, but you don't feel any more drunk or buzzed. It's almost as if it's like you hit a cap that's not quite satisfying to you. And you get the impression that no one, you look around and you notice that no one in the bar is drunk.
Why is nobody drunk?
The guy there laughs. He goes, drunk.
Why is nobody drunk?
Fizz won't make you drunk. It'll have all the effects, but you won't lose control. Isn't that great?
What will get me drunk?
We don't have alcohol here.
What? And I walk over to Pivot immediately. We have a problem. We need to leave.
They just offered us room and board and something to drink. I am parched. I need some water.
Okay, so Theric, you're trying to find some women to mate with.
Well, at this point, it doesn't have to be women.
Right, okay.
Been in the forest a long time.
Yep, so Tom kind of offers, he says, well, how much money you got? Well, how much money?
You have a varied selection based on how much I'm willing to pay.
And he goes, well, I know what you can and can't afford, if that's what you mean.
No, I mean, like, if I pay more, do I get to, say, choose my own disease rather than have one randomly assigned?
He shakes his head at you and he goes, it's not worth it, and he walks away.
I walk over and interject, and I say, hold on, we can figure this out. And I bring Theric back. And I say, look, we're clearly looking for something here. Theric wants, a woman. And you want to give him a woman. Let's figure this out. Theric, what are you willing to pay?
I could pay a couple shins.
And you, what is the cheapest of your women? He's not picky, believe me.
Oh, women. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you for a couple shins, I guess you could maybe go to the Wyndham house. You'll probably find something there.
You do
someone.
Want women, right, Theric?
That would be my preference, yes.
I mean, he can just sleep in a woman. He doesn't need a bed. No, seriously, I've seen him. He does not need a bed.
It's like, again, the Wyndham house.
All right, well.
And where do I find this Wyndham house?
And he explains to you, and you, from his description, it's clearly the building that's closest to the Meladel, the statue.
And I ask the bartender, and I say, Wyndham House, does it also serve these wonderful fizz drinks?
Well, yes. You won't find, it's more of a healing place, but the fizz can be found most places. I mean, we sell the best by far.
Oh, of course, of course. And do they sell other drinks as well?
Again, we don't have much of other drinks. Melodel has provided the fizz for us, and that's all we need.
It's a dry town. Do you not sell anything but fizz?
Well, we have food if you want food.
No. Do you have alcohol? Do you have any sort of alcohol that can get someone inebriated?
No, we don't need that.
Yeah, of course. Who would need that?
You notice that everybody in the town looks really good, really healthy, and really...
Except for poor Mel.
Yeah, love it. Okay, perfect, great. Pivot, can we speak for a minute?
What is it?
Look. Hey, come on, man. I am tired too. Don't give me the tone. I am fine with tonight. I've had a little bit of it. It's worn off now, but I'm fine. We'll start fresh in the morning, and we'll move on from this town. We'll go to a new place.
Malakrin walks over to you and hands you a box and says, I will give you 4 shins if you will deliver this to Guillaume Kittrick.
We can do
I'd
that.
say we do it, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be right now, though. We'll deliver it in the morning.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, whenever, as long as it gets there by tomorrow or tomorrow, then I'm okay.
Yeah, we can make it happen.
Gentlemen, I don't know about you guys, but I think I want to rest, I want to heal up, and I want to get moving because I want an adventure.
Fine.
I don't
I
want
will
to
take care of myself. Get me to my bed.
Okay, so Malakrin eventually finds a place for you to stay, and it's pretty basic. You notice that it's on the floor, but the whole building, that gray material, is actually kind of soft and rubbery, so it's not so bad. And you sleep pretty well throughout the night. So if you guys all want to do, or you go put your stats back up to full.
Perfect.
Yes.
Is anyone wearing armor, just out of curiosity?
I have
I have
armor,
a
but I
rope
wouldn't be wearing it.
I'd be wearing
Okay.
it.
So if it's heavy armor, you're going to be reducing 3 points per hour to your might cost. Just as a reminder.
Yeah.
If you have training, it reduces it, but you still have to keep an eye on that.
I have no need for such things.
Okay, so do you wake up? What do you do?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just say, you guys wake up, and you guys grab your box. The place is empty pretty much. You hear that in another room, it sounds like there's some bartering going on, but you leave all the same. It's pretty early, and the Melodel, or the statue, looks really nice in this light. And walking up, you notice there's a lady on the street who's got this sexy with her.
Sexy?
Sounds like sexy with sexy. Sounds like sexy with a lisp.
Sexy from Staten Island.
Sexy.
He's
And
bringing sexy back.
she's setting up this cart that's hovering in the street, and it looks like she's putting some materials. It's a very messy cart, and lots of things on there. This is what it looks like, the animal that's with her.
Oh, wow.
And it's not. It looks fierce, but it's just a little bigger than a dog.
Oh,
It's
okay.
quite tame, though, obviously.
And she's singing to herself, and it's tame. It looks like it's trying to help her out, and it stays on her heels, and she's laughing to herself, and the dog will bark with her. And you pass by that.
What? I would stop. And I would rub its belly.
It
And
kind
I
of
would
looks
tell
at
it how beautiful it is.
and the lady looks at you and goes, "Well, thank you."
And
He's
I
a
see you
simple
take
man.
fine care of it.
And looking at the woman, you notice that. Did I cut out?
Nope.
No?
Okay, looking at the woman, you notice this big crest that goes all along her skull, and her hair is red, and it comes down on either side. It's like she parts it to show the crest. And she's a bigger, stout woman, and her laugh is, you could hear it. Well, like basically once you exited the Fog and Folly, you could hear it reverberating off the walls. A huge. Yes, that's wonderful. Just like
Way of
that.
doing it.
All right, now we can continue. I just wanted to
Okay.
rub it
And so eventually
You got-
you make it. You follow the directions, and it's not too hard. It is a little ways out, but after a while you start seeing in the distance, and it is this dome-shaped building, and right away Shaz notices it's a observatory, so a big
Yes.
telescope type thing. And
This is the Mellowdell Observatory.
no, it's not.
This is Geome.
This is
Kittrick's
Geome's place, his habitat, or wherever he's staying.
That's what I meant.
I got
So you
this.
get up to the place, and it looks like this metal building with a metal roof that looks like it could move around.
Quite interesting architecture up here. He definitely sounds like the genius he was meant to be. I've never seen a building like this.
No, they say that he's a crazy genius.
Well, the townsfolk say he's crazy, and they don't serve alcohol, so my bar is low.
So maybe we should limit our talking. Be very careful with what we say. I don't know. Does it make more sense to send Brandy in, or does it make more sense to send Jazz in, or just all go together?
Well, look, we want to know about the Numenera. I would happily go in and talk to him. I'm feeling better after yesterday. Like I said, Pivot, it's been a while since I had a drink. I'm feeling much calmer now. Nerves are back. I got my shooting hand back, so we're gonna be fine.
All right, good. I almost forgot. Here are your shins.
I would greatly appreciate learning what Geome has to tell us. I think it would help me learn more of what I'm wishing to learn from the Numenera.
Well, hey, look, we're all here. We're all here to study the Numenera and to learn more. I have no problem if we all go in together. Theric, do you want to come in with us? Obviously, maybe.
That would be appreciated. Yes.
Then yeah, let's all go in together. I think I think we're not too intimidating. We'll lessen down the creepiness for a bit. Yeah, that's less intimidating, right?
So what do we knock?
Okay, and you hear a voice. Just leave it on the doorstep.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
You dirty,
The animals.
you filthy animal.
Kittrick, this is a delivery from the town.
And you hear some heavy breathing. It goes, yeah, I was expecting it.
We are adventurers, and we are helping. We are here to deliver these, as well as we wanted to know if we could come in and talk to you for a brief moment. We are very curious about the Numenera and the work that you're doing here.
And he goes, adventures, eh?
Of a sort.
Come in then. And you hear a click.
And I turn to Pivot. That was easy.
Yeah.
So you
Enter with
open the door.
caution.
And it is dark in the room. And you all of a sudden hear mechanization, and the opening starts, the top of the roof starts opening up, and some light comes in. And it looks like it's just filled with all these contraptions and odds and ends and these bubbling mixtures and different things. Looking around, you notice this being, if you can call it that, this face that looks like it's stretched over a mannequin's face, and hooks in either side of his face, and it's just a spine with these big tubes and wires that are supporting it, and it kind of floats over to you, almost being carried by these wires, and goes, well, I've been needing some help lately, so perhaps this is auspicious.
Kittrick, it's great to meet you.
He goes, I'd like to say likewise, but we will see, I guess.
Well, look, hey, there's no reason to be informal. My name is Brandy Jack. This is my great friend Pivot. This is Shaz. He's really fun. And Theric is, Theric. He's fantastic as well. And, we're here to talk.
And you can see he's kind of, looks like his face is kind of getting tired, and he walks over to, or I guess he floats kind of over to a table, and another tube picks up a syringe and injects him in the face. And you see his eyes brighten up. He looks over at you and goes, well, nice to meet you. My name is, as you know, Geome Kittrick, and this is my observatory. A lot of good it is right now.
Why, is it not working? Jinx, you owe me a kiss.
Yes, and of all, you can see he's brightened up since he's injected himself. He says, and all the times that it could go bad, the new star and everything, and it seems to be growing every day, and I can't even look at it.
New star.
Yeah, I thought I saw something weird in the sky last night.
And I suppose it's not normal, I can tell you that. But I can't even look through the thing. And you look over, he points over, I guess he gestures over towards the Oculus where you would look into it, and there's definitely a piece missing.
Where did it go?
I think that damn Fenton Miles took it.
Fenton Miles, that's a name we've heard a few times.
And this is why I need you. I need that device. I need it for my research. I need it for looking even through my telescope at the closest star, and now this one, I really need it.
Sure. Well, why would he take it? Look at us. We are Jinx kiss buddies today. Another kiss. You owe me.
Because he
need
needed it. He comes over here and he plays King's Corners with me, and I saw mine it. I know I did. And he does that work in the bog, and he looks at molecule, does something about the fizz. Who cares? It's useless busybody work, but I think he took it. I think he took it so he could examine the molecules closer.
Hey, he's the
Have
son
you
of-
asked him?
He hasn't been back since it's gone missing. I wouldn't
I will
ask him.
go-
I would. What was that?
I will go ask him.
Well,
This sounds like a job for the adventurers!
the adventure team.
Yeah, Fenton is Malakrin's son, isn't he?
No.
No, that was Tom and Tam.
Tom and Tan. Oh, okay, never mind.
Now, Brandy Jack, did you give this man his package?
I imagine you put it on the floor when you entered in.
Yeah.
You see the different contraptions going over and picking up the items and bringing them over and pouring them into things, and he's not even really paying attention, but all this is happening. You get the impression that everything's kind of intertwined to his brain, nervous system, so he can control it with his mind.
That's very cool.
Of course.
It's a fascinating place you got here.
You guys, I have been working on it for some time.
Of course. I just want to make sure that what we delivered is not the missing piece to this Oculus. I mean, it seems too easy, but sometimes we go looking for things.
He looks at you kind of like you're an idiot.
Do you know why he
He's
would have taken it?
He's looking at that way to everybody because he's clearly better than you. He thinks he's better than you. It's condescending. I told you why he took it, because it's expensive, and I'm sure it'll help him with his work. It magnifies anything, so for someone who works closely with molecules, he would definitely find a use for it.
Why are we still here?
Because we're talking, Theric. We discussed this.
But we know where we're going.
Yes, hold on. Look, we're more than happy to help you, Kittrick. We would love to. But, what we're really in the search for is to speak about Numenera. If we receive this, as my friend Theric clearly wants to do for you, retrieve this rather, will you be able to share with us some information you might know about the Numenera?
Well, I could identify some items if you have them.
That would be beneficial to us, because you said we have meta. You said we had ciphers that we don't know, right?
Yeah, from your travels into the Black Ridge, you each have one cipher, and Chaz has two ciphers that aren't identified.
They might be in handy if we go out to the bog. I don't know what we'll find out there, but
that's true. We would happily go.
You see Kittrick turn around and he says, "For sure, it is a dangerous journey, and I would not want you to fail and lose my item." Are you guys up for the challenge?
Yes, but perhaps you could identify these items before we go so that they could aid us in our journey.
And what's to keep you coming back?
Well, all you're doing is identifying them. I mean, you've told us where the thing is. We could take it, but we're not going to. We would happily come back.
I'm concerned about the status of this star. Because we've all seen what happens when stars grow too large and planets have to move and extraterrestrials have to go elsewhere. We know of the others that live on this planet of ours.
He goes, "Precisely. There is quite a lot I think I can learn from it if I only had my item."
I'm quite curious about this star myself.
Aren't we all? And you can see him getting frustrated. He's like, "Get
Maybe
me the item, and I can help you. I will tell you what I know about it, but I can only know something about it when I have the item."
Perfect.
I'd like to use my telekinetic energy to pick up one of these syringes and just kind of like pass it to him through the air as if he needs it because he's getting so frustrated. Like maybe hover it like right here.
All right. Do you roll for that? Let's try a roll. Let's try a roll.
I mean, it's not difficult for me to do things like that with hedge method.
But at the same time, I want you to roll. I'm gonna say it's a standard action. It requires focus, but most people can do it. So most people who have the ability can do it.
Oh, fuck.
So what happens is you lift it up and you shoot it into his face.
And I say, there, feel better?
So basically, he's going to. Okay. So he shoots into his face.
Okay, but no, I go. Hold on. Mr. Kittredge, Mr. Kittrick, Shaz, why don't you wait outside right now? Why don't you just wait outside for a second?
So this thing is sticking into his face, and you see all the wires and stuff start writhing.
Yeah, I say, Shaz, just go now, go now, and we're gonna talk to him, and we'll be right back outside.
And as Shaz goes outside, some like big piece of metal just hucks at the wall where he was, and hits the wall and climbs down.
He's actually running away.
That buffoon! What the hell?
And I turn to Mr. Kitchener and say, Mr. Kitchener,
perhaps you're the wrong people for the job.
No, not at all. Look, he is very young, new to his power, and is extremely eager. And I honestly think he was trying to help you, because he saw that you were getting tired and that you were using these syringes to revive yourself. So we will happily do this for you. And I think that it would be great. The only thing I will ask really quickly is if I have this thing that we collected, I don't know what it is. It could be very useful in our quest to get this back. It could be a balloon that brings us right back here. So if you could identify this really quick, Okay,
I want you to do a roll. I'm not going to tell you the difficulty of it.
That's fine. 8. Oh, sorry. I will use...
it's too late.
Not person... What? Oh.
Okay, so he tells you it's an image projector.
Okay.
And basically what you have to do is you think of an image in your mind, and you will turn the two sides of it, and it'll project the image somewhere within a short distance, so within 10 feet or so. And it looks like it's a being, or whatever. You can even do like three-dimensional objects, but it'll project it, basically.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And maybe these guys quick too. Pivot. Do you want to just what your mates?
And he goes, "Are you? I'm not going to do this for you. Not after what your friend did. Maybe if you bring back the item, I will identify the others."
All right, fine. We'll go. Mine was the most useless. Watch Justin's be like a hot air balloon that brings him up and brings him right back down.
Teleports you to the bog where the item is.
I'll say to him, I'll pull out my item anyways. And I'll place it on the ground. And I'll say, insurance. And then I'll get up and walk away.
And he kind of, you can see that he's been appeased a little bit. Appeased? Is that the word?
Yep.
Yeah, appeased. And he kind of turns and is like, okay, I'm busy. Go get the thing, come back. And these wires push you guys out the door. This like big massive wires, and push you guys out the door and slam the door behind you.
Okay, so Shaz, don't do that again.
I'm sorry, God. I thought I had this one in the bag.
The dragon beer. Organic. That's a dragon. I got excited. And Alex's second martini.
And you see a cat walk by.
Yeah, right.
Hey, yeah.
And I turn to Pivot and I say, good thinking leaving that behind is a little bit of insurance. I feel like that guy might be a sticky customer.
Yeah, I agree. Now, everybody, we got a tent, right? We might not be doing this in one day.
No, I don't have a tent on me, but we could always pick one up in town. I think they would have one.
I say we do, just in case.
You guys have tents. You guys have been traveling for some time, so you definitely have, right?
Okay,
you just came from the Black Ridge, and you guys are travelers. You guys are adventurers, so you have stuff.
Perfect.
So
we know what we're doing, for the most part.
So we set off, I guess.
So,
yeah, is there anything we might need besides the tents? But is there anything like travel-wise?
Well, how are we doing for our stats? Are we back to full? Are we recovering? 1d6.
Yeah, so because of the 10-hour sleep, I'm going... You know what, we'll just say you're full. We said you have a couple more recoveries. We're going to put you back at full for now.
Yeah, we were at full when we woke up, you said.
Yeah, I think I did say that, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
Missed that.
Then yeah, let's go.
Okay, so you walk back out of the village. Walking by the statue, you see some people look like they're giving offerings to it. There's definitely an opening in the chest that they're placing things into, but you ignore it and you keep walking.
No, I walk up and I throw a shin in. And I throw a shin in. Are there shins going in there?
Yeah, there's some shins. Not a lot, but there are some shins. There's a lot more like basket of eggs or a basket of flowers.
I walk up and I throw a shin in, and I turn to the group and I say, "Good luck for our journey."
That was your last shin.
No, I got the other two back.
From
Oh,
the
right,
bar?
I spent two. Yeah, that's my last shin.
So you see a couple of them do that symbol that you saw from the
And I go,
Malacran. And so you walk back to where you saw where the farmer had pointed out the bog, and again you see these floating pieces of land that are pouring water down, and you assume that's why this is so much more lush down there, that all the water runs down into the bog and makes it a little swampy, that type of thing. So as you're walking, you come across trees that are starting to come up, and it's starting to turn more green, and eventually you're coming over the crest and you see what looks to be a couple pipes sticking out of the ground just over a hill. Or you hear some like I don't know, like some metal on metal sounds.
Metal
Like
on metal.
Black Sabbath and Megadeth.
They're having a battle of the bands just over the hill. No, like someone working, tinkering away at metal.
Ting, ting, ting.
I turn to Shaz, and I gesture up at one of the flotillas that is streaming water down, and I say to him, How do you suppose all that water just keeps on falling down? What's its source?"
Do I know this?
I don't know. You tell me. Come up with something.
Yeah. Well, I don't suppose I know. In fact,
Large cisterns collect rainwater.
absolutely. It's basically these large floating land masses that are kind of stuck in the nano web, which you can't see, so you don't have to believe me or not. But the land mass is clearly floating. And every time it rains, it's a lake up there, and it just kind of spills out like a dam. You heard of dams? They were like billions of years ago.
I have another theory. That the pipes they go to the secret stage where we get to go underground and collect stars and PowerPoints.
Now all we need is 2 plumbers.
That's what Andre said to us on our Facebook. He said,
Nice.
"Pipes are a secret stage, guys."
Star World.
Thanks, Andre. Andre.
So you guys are talking? All of a sudden you hear the tinkering stop. You were talking, so the tinkering stops.
And I say, who was tinkering there? Did you hear that? Theric, you have good ears. Which direction did that come from?
All right, do I know?
Oh, yeah, sorry, it's just coming from over the hill. Oh, yeah, I'm the GM. So just over the hill. You
From that way, over yonder.
All right, and I could take a quick jog ahead. What's that?
As we're jogging.
Yeah.
I say as we're jogging, do you think it's Fendon?
It could be.
Okay, so as you run over the hill, all of a sudden, you roll initiative. So I'm going to have you roll initiative for the whole group. And we will... You, Brandy Jack, because you're running over the hill.
Uh-oh.
So in a Numenera, you can actually just do it, you guys go, then the other people go. So that's how we're going to do it. So based on your roll, we'll decide.
So 1d20 then?
Yep.
All right, here we go, guys. Hope for a big one. Someone give me a drum roll. No, there's that.
Oops.
10. Did it? It turned at the end for me. Ta-da!
It did for me too. That's weird. Yeah.
Okay. So 10 out of 20. 50%. That ain't bad.
Yep. It's not good either.
Well, you know.
About 50-50.
I'm an
Debbie
optimist.
Downer.
I like to see that. Yeah, I'm the glass half full kind of guy.
Okay.
So I can drink the other half.
And I drink the other half. Yeah.
Okay, so right away you stop in your tracks and you see something that you have never seen before. Coming out of the ground is what looks to be a big metal hand, and from
I've seen one of those before.
Yeah.
and from each of the fingertips there appears to be these pipes that come out, and all these creatures. There's about 5 creatures that are standing around it, and some of them are on the hand. It looks like they were tinkering at. But seeing you come over the hill and hearing that you were coming, they turn to you. Some are carrying weapons, and what they look like is this.
So nervous.
I can't find it.
You can't find it. That means it doesn't happen.
Ah, here we go.
Oops.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So there's 5 of these.
Ooh.
They happen to be clothed more than these ones are.
Oh, I don't
but,
like that.
That's what you see.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
she saw.
disturbing.
And they get to go first, and you see a couple of them start to kind of gather towards each other, and that's what they do. And the other one pulls an arrow out of his quiver, who's standing on top of the hand itself, and he readies an arrow and stands there.
All right, so who would go first? I'd probably jump to action, but
Yeah, I would let
So-
one of the 2 glaives go first.
Yeah, we're gonna let you, Justin, go first.
okay. So I say to Brandy, regular plan, stick to the high ground.
Yeah, I'll get up high. You 2 going low. Because we've been
Sounds
battling for a while now.
And I pull out my shield.
Shaz is just going off. He's like,
I clench my fist a bit, and then I start walking down slowly down the field, down the hill.
Okay, so towards them. So you can see that they're starting to get their hackles up, and the other one's pulling their weapons at you.
How far away are they? Are they like a short
They're
distance,
this long tendril that's coming from their face is really writhing. And is that weird? Did you hear me?
Yeah.
or yeah.
The tendril is writhing and it's going faster, kind of like a cat's tail when he's pissed off.
Greg told us to tie their faces together. So I say we
Okay, I'm gonna. Should I just screen share? I'm gonna screen share that picture because it's cool.
I put it on our Facebook so you can all see it.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, cool.
I posted it.
Okay.
And I'll tweet it right now too.
So Justin walks towards them. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's all I can do really. I'm walking. Like, how far did you say they were?
They're in short distance. So
Then
you could
run.
Yeah, you could run up to them and
I
attack
will
if you want
pass
to.
them.
Can you attack though? Because I was wondering about the actual actions. Like, if they're within a short distance, then I can run up to them and engage with them. But I don't know if I can attack.
Yeah, I'd say you can attack.
If it's within short distance, you can move and attack.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to. Yeah, I guess I'll pick up my speed and then I'll reach into the air and try to grab with my metal hand onto the tentacle.
Ooh.
One of the tentacles. I've got my shield in my left hand too.
Okay. So you need to roll to see if you're successful with your attack.
Okay.
So
Do I know the difficulty?
no, you don't get to know.
Okay. So we're done with that.
Yeah. Well, especially in a combat situation.
Yes. So this is something that I want to do. So I'm going to apply some effort. I have an edge in speed.
So you're going to use speed. Okay.
Yes. I figure that's what I'd be doing because I'm trying to grab a writhing tentacle.
Okay.
Should we not try to talk to them first?
It's too late. You're up. Yeah, you're shouting down on the hill.
I'm just
from the
thinking,
hill.
maybe we should try to talk to them.
Shake my head, and so I'm bringing it down a tier. So whatever that is, and rolling
11. That's not bad.
11.
No,
Okay, so are
7.
you-
What did you roll? You rolled twice?
We'll take the 11's the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so so which one are you going to attack? Are you going to attack the one that's standing on the hand with the archer, or are you going to attack some of the other ones with spears?
I can attack the archer.
Yep. Oh
Yeah,
no, it
okay.
depends how you're attacking. No, you're running up and you're grabbing, right?
Yes.
So you'd only be able to attack one of the ones on the ground. So we'll say the closest one to you. You run up and you try to grab its tentacle,
Okay.
and it's writhing around, and you manage to grasp it.
Wonderful. Okay. And I squeeze my metal hand.
Okay, so what damage are you doing with the metal hand? We're gonna say I'm gonna say we're gonna treat it as a
it's a crushing attack.
crushing attack. I'd say it's a medium attack. What do you guys think?
Yeah, medium seems fair.
So we'll say 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So you crush it, and you see its body like ache in pain, as if something very well, I wouldn't say sensitive, but it still hurt quite a bit. The big penis. That's what everyone's thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah. So no, it's not though. It's muscular. You get the impression that's very muscular, and it's a strong appendage, whatever it is. But you do squeeze, and it looks like it's in pain.
Okay.
Nice. So we can pick whatever order we want?
Yeah. Next is.
I'd say I could go next, because I would have been at the top of that hill now, and I'd probably just take
I
a
just
nice-
want you guys, whatever order you go in now. Yeah, it's like a reverse one of these, except for like the back of the head.
You're looking at the back of the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have eyes.
Okay, so it's your turn, Brady Jack.
Perfect. So I'm going to pull out Jackknife, my custom crossbow, and kiss it. And I'm
Okay.
going to fire at the one that Justin is holding, so hopefully it gives me some sort of... Oh, I got to say what I'm doing before I go. I'm going to use Pierce. It costs me 1 speed, but I believe it boosts my tier up 1 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how it works, right?
What tier?
Or sorry, it takes my pool down 1, takes my pool down 1, and it raises the or lowers the difficulty by 1 if I use Pierce. Is that correct?
I believe so. But I
didn't
think
write
you have
down
to.
the details.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. I just have Pierce.
Okay, let's look that up.
Okay,
I
let's
can
do that
tell you.
real quick.
You gonna look that up?
Point.
Okay. In the meanwhile, let's go to.
Here, hold on. This is a well-aimed, penetrating range attack. You make an attack and inflict 1 additional point of damage if your weapon has a sharp point. Action.
Perfect. So it's just 1 additional point of damage. So if I hit, it's 5 versus 4.
Okay. And you don't have to spend anything to use that.
Yes, 1 speed. So,
Okay, so make sure you take that.
so my speed's now from 13 to 12, correct?
Yep.
Perfect. Cool. All right, and I'm going to roll.
Who are you hitting?
I'm going to hit the one that Justin was holding. Now, because I'm on high ground, or because he's holding it, is there any sort of bonus for that?
Yes, there is a high ground bonus, but I don't think it's high enough. Who are you hitting? You're hitting the one that Justin did?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll say you give it an advantage there.
Okay, perfect.
So you miss. So the arrow flies by this thing's head, and as it's going by, you see the tentacle grab it and snap it and throw it down. So next would be Theric. We'll go to you next.
All right. So again, I was running full speed into it. One of them doesn't matter, and one of the ones with the spears. And I would say using my forearm blade just to get by the spear,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be getting by the spear, jumping, trying to grab it by the head, twist and roll onto the next one, so I'm trying to snap the neck as I go.
Okay. Let's see how that works. So are you attacking the same one that that Justin did?
No, it'd probably be a different one.
Okay. So let's see. Do you want to use any effort at all?
I will definitely use an effort.
Okay.
And so I'll use it as an unarmed attack. So it says modifier -1. And
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to do a jumping skill or anything like that with it.
So you're going. Okay. Let's describe it again. So you're going to run up. You're going to block the spear out of the way, and then jump and hit him.
So I'm blocking with the forearm.
Yep.
And as I'm jumping up, grabbing the head,
Yep.
hitting with me as I go on to the next one.
Back up, Mom. Back up.
Okay. So cool. So yeah, we're going to definitely do a.
Hold on, yeah, back up. Let's see. I want to see the full move.
No, it's all good.
So
is-
point of effort. No, I think that's cool, and I think you don't need to use a point of effort for that.
All right.
I mean, you have to use the effort that you originally did, and I think that's fine.
Okay, so what am I doing here?
You are
just
rolling.
right?
Yep. You have to use you have to minus the 3 points from whatever pool you're using, unless you have an edge, in which case you must.
I guess I'll do it from speed because I'm trying to get in and out real quick.
Yep.
All right. Okay, and then I just roll.
That's right.
Oh, excellent. Got a 2.
Oh man.
Okay,
Well,
so
it still might work depending because my unarmed attack lowers it 1 tier, right, or something?
Yeah, so you-
unarmed. Oh.
Because I've got a
Lower-
-1. And I put
negative,
on
negative 1 to yeah. Okay, so it still doesn't work, however,
Okay.
because you only use 1 effort, right?
Yeah.
No, you're not good. So you go to do this
well, that was a
thing.
little personal. Maybe my attack wasn't as good. That said I'm no good.
You are no good.
Ow,
Theric is no good. I like you, Mike.
bastard.
Okay, so you run up and you go to push this guy's weapon away, but as you go to do that, his tentacle wraps around the spear, and you
Yep.
find that it's just way too strong, and he
Yep.
kind of jostles you back.
Okay.
So no success. All right, so Shaz.
Alright, I'm going to use my onslaught ability.
I like the
Which
sound
is, so
of
I'm gonna
that.
have to run. I'm gonna have to run up close. So, not too close. It's a short range. It's not immediate range. So
Okay.
I charge down the hill,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna do. I charge down the hill. And I'm like, and I like use my onslaught ability as it's a mental charge, and it attacks him physically.
Oh, cool. So it's like he's being punched by an invisible force, so some sort of force is hitting him.
So you're just sliding into position
Unnecessary movement.
as you go down the mountain.
Awesome.
Well, you know what? I do believe that you know what, adding effort.
You're wiping out as you slide down.
Oh yeah, adding effort. Something like this. This is my effort. This is my effort involved. So I'm gonna add a point of effort to this attack, in as much as the damage.
Okay.
So I'm going to add effort to damage, but does that mean that if my roll is unsuccessful, that I still lose effort?
Yes.
Yes. No matter what, when you apply effort, it's as if you're trying extra hard. So even if you fail, you still tried hard.
I'm a real tryhard, so
You're a
aim for
try.
effort.
Go hard.
I'm going for it. So it's 1d20?
Yeah. So did you subtract the 2 points?
From intellect, yes.
Okay. So just keep track of that.
So because I have my edge,
So you've lowered it by 1 step so far.
yeah. Well, no, I didn't lower it at all.
Used effort.
To increase the damage,
Oh.
right?
No, that's different. You
Oh.
can use effort to increase the damage as well. Yeah, that's fine. So you're going to do that instead of.
It's
lowering
one
the-
or the other, as far as I
You know what? I'm going to say you can do both, because
And I don't mean to argue with you here because that would definitely benefit me, but I definitely did read you can use effort to increase either the damage or lower the difficulty, or I can use effort twice to do both, but I can't.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So if you want to do it, you have to use another 3 points.
Right. No, I'm just going to use effort to increase the damage, and I'm going to roll natural against the difficulty. What's the difficulty again?
I'm not telling you.
Oh.
And is it so? It's you're basically hitting him with your mind power, right? But you're attacking his physical form.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Rolling.
Ooh. So that actually gives you a minor effect.
It does.
+1 to damage.
To damage. So what's your total damage now?
So that damage is 4 points of physical damage. So now it's 5.
Okay.
But didn't you do the effort to increase the damage?
Plus the effort to increase the damage.
Well, sorry, it is 4. The effort to increase the damage makes it 5 damage.
And 17 makes it 6 damage.
6 damage.
And are you attacking the same one that Justin and...
No, a new one.
A new one. Which one would you like to attack? The archer or the other 3?
Yeah, let's go for archer. I'm ranged. It's ranged.
Okay, so 6 points of damage.
Excellent.
Okay, so...
But it's not down.
That was a good use of that.
No, but you see its tentacle writhing, and its knee looks like it's just been kicked in, and it falls out of the hand and falls prone.
Oh, this is the archer.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So it's prone right now. So all of a sudden it just looked like this. It almost looked like the wind shifted around it, and its knee just went backwards and it fell out of the thing.
So currently there are 5 other guys around us?
There's 4 around you and 1 that's passed out or on the ground.
Okay.
All right, so now it is their turn. So the one that has just been attacked by you grasping its tentacle, it really wants to get off. So what it's going to do is try to stab you with its spear from where it is.
So I'm trying to dodge it?
So you roll a defense roll.
Okay, now having him holding his nose, basically, is that going to make it more difficult for him? And I'm up close.
It makes it difficult to do certain things, but not that, no.
Okay. So I'm trying to defend. This is a speed roll? Speed defense?
It's up to you. You can use speed or might. Depends on how you describe it. So it's a choice of yours.
I'm going to do speed defense because I'm using my shield.
Okay.
So I get a speed defense bonus. And I've got an edge, so I'm going to do 1 more effort, and it's only going to cost 1 point, I think? Or does the speed defense lower the tier?
The speed defense... Sorry. The speed defense will lower the tier.
Right, okay. So I'm going to do that. And... what the hey, I might as well use the effort too.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got 2 tiers down.
Yep.
And I'm going to roll. $12.
Okay, so it goes to stab you, and you are successful in moving out of the way. You dodge a little bit to the left, especially with you maneuvering the tentacle.
Oh,
but
yeah.
all of a sudden, I'm going to use the GM intrusion. So I'm going to give you 2 experience points for if you allow it to happen.
Sure.
And basically, its strength in that tentacle was more than you expected, and it rips your arm off. So unhinges it, basically.
Oh, that happened really easily.
Not easy. It's a very strong thing.
Okay.
So at just the angle that you went at, it found the weak joint, basically, and dehinged. It's still hanging on, still grasping tight, but it's taken off.
Okay.
So if you want that to happen, it is 2 experience or 1 experience to you, and you have to give 1 experience to somebody else. If you don't want it to happen, you have to spend 1 experience.
Right. I will allow it.
Okay.
So
that's
free.
Your arm comes off, but now you have to give 1 experience to somebody else.
I am going to give my experience to. I'm going to give it to Shaz. I'm going to give it to Shaz for that mighty display that he all of a sudden he started running and screaming, and then one of the guys fell to the ground. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So
that's part of the reason why my hand fell off. I was kind of like, oh, what the heck?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
So then all of a sudden, the other ones start to swarm around you, and they're going to make an attack on you. Two of them go towards you, and one of them goes and looks at the archer. The one who's not engaged in fight goes and looks at the archer. And they're going to make an attack against you again, so if you could roll.
Okay. So I'm going to try and... I get the -1 tier for the shield.
Yep.
And I'm just going to roll for the first one.
Hold on to your butt.
Are you going to lower it at all? It's only one attack, so they're working together.
Oh,
they're running at you, and it looks like they've intertwined their tentacles, and they're going to clothesline you.
I see.
Yeah, like British Bulldog.
In that case, I am going to do might, and I'm just going to try to withstand it. That's how I'm going to block it.
Yeah, like British Bulldog style. You're just going to take it. Yeah.
Although I don't get a defense bonus for my shield, I think that's more what my character
We call
would do.
Slug Monster over.
So I'm going to use...
I always get picked last.
2 effort from might, or 2 points from might, because I have an edge.
Okay, and you're keeping track of all your might that you've lost?
I am, yep.
Okay.
And I'm rolling. 7.
Okay, so that brings it down to... Okay, so they're successful.
Okay.
And they do 5 points of damage to your might.
To my might, okay, but I have armor.
Oh, sorry, 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
I do have armor because I have bones made of steel, and because I am a glaive, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I get 2 points of armor, or because I'm tough. And then I'm also wearing brig, so I've got 4 points of armor, which is subtracted from the total.
Okay.
So 2 points from my might.
Yep.
All right.
On that note, sorry, I definitely would have been wearing my armor before we left.
Okay. So just let's say we've been traveling for an hour. So take the equivalent of what you need to off your might pool.
Mine's nothing because I'm trained in it. I think same with you, Brandy, for the might pool.
Yeah.
But we have 1 less speed that we're able to use.
Yeah. So I'm down to 11 now.
Yep.
Is anybody else wearing brig armor, brigandine, or medium armor? Theric?
No, sir.
He doesn't wear armor. He's too badass.
Okay, so all of a sudden, Brandy Jack, being the archer, you notice that the archer on the ground and the other saos that went over to help him, they've kind of looked at you, and they both have one hand to their temple, and they're definitely pointing towards you, and all of a sudden you feel an attack on your mind.
Motherfuckers.
So you need to roll for a defense against that.
All right, let's cross our penises. 9, and it goes up 1 task for me.
So again, let's from now on try to do it before.
No. What I mean is it's Okay, no, you're right. Then that's fine.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. One task more difficult.
More difficult against me.
Oh, so it's successful.
But I don't need to say that. You're right. I didn't clarify beforehand, so you know.
Wouldn't have mattered. So in your mind, you hear this faint ringing, and then all of a sudden it gets louder and louder and louder and unbearable, and all of a sudden you feel your nose start to bleed a little bit, and you take 6 points of intellect damage. That ignores armor.
What? These things make brain stuff, and they're fucking physically
I can do that.
Cray.
All right, so
but
it's
you're
your
also
turn.
not a slug monster.
So we're gonna go back to Pivot. Your turn.
Okay, so they just ran through me. Do they have? Did they knock me to the ground, or was I just kind of pushed to the side?
So basically, their attack, it clotheslined you a little bit, and it kind of just bashed you in the head, but you're okay.
Okay, so yeah, they continue running past me, and I look over at the guy that's on the ground that hurt his knee.
Yep, the archer.
And I walk over to him, the archer, yeah, and I kick him in the face.
Okay.
While he's down.
Kick you in the face, bitch!
That's right. So that's might. That's going to be might. But I'm missing an arm. But I am. You know what? I'm going to use an effort for that as well.
Remember, you can also take a 10-second heal, right? So you can gain 6 points plus your tier just as a round.
Good call. Okay. I'll
Reminder.
keep that in mind. I'm going to do the effort for now and roll 12, and it's 1 tier down.
Cool. So what damage do you do with an unarmed attack? Is it 2?
4 actually, because I don't use weapons. I have no need for weapons as a
Cool.
special
So
ability.
you kill him. Describe it.
Okay, so I see him struggling to get off the ground. He's got one hand to his temple, right?
Mhm.
And I just walk up to him and I step on his head and I just start stomping until I don't feel him anymore.
So it looks like calamari everywhere. Just nasty.
And I turn to the other scion who's holding his head to his temple, and I look up and I say, "You're next."
And
He
I'm
turns
watching
his-
this from the hill, and I'm like, fuck.
All right, so your turn, Brandy Jack.
All right, I'm like, fuck yeah, pivot. I say that, I'm like, fuck yeah, pivot, and I fire at the one that he just gave the fucking thing to.
Yep.
I want to distract, because he's distracted. I'm just gonna fire him inside of his face.
Okay, I'll give him an advantage because he just had a distraction. So I'll lower it by 1 tier for you.
Okay, and I haven't rolled yet, so I'm going to use effort. On my speed to attack. So I take off 3 points of my speed, but it goes down a peg, correct?
Because of your edge, is that what you're saying?
Sorry.
Do you have an edge in speed?
No.
Okay, so you're using 3 points of effort. Yes, that'll lower the difficulty by 1 step.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm down to 8 in speed, but now it should go down a step in difficulty.
It should go down it's gone down 2 steps because of the distraction from pivot.
Right, cool. And I'm going to use Pierce, which adds +1 damage, and that costs another speed. So
Okay.
now I'm just using these up. These are just
Those are your hit points, really.
yeah.
That's fine though.
But when my speed hits 0, I die.
No, you are. There's like different tiers. When you have 0 in all categories, you're dead.
Okay, cool.
When you have 0 in might, if you have 0 in one category, okay, when you have full health or something in everyone, you're called Hail, and then when you lose 0 in one, I think it's inhibited, and basically you can't take action, you can only move, and it's usually like crawling away, and then when you lose the third one, you're dead basically. But we'll go over that. You don't have to worry about that. We'll just talk about that when you hit a 0 in something.
Yeah, that's fine. I never took my flex skill, by the way, too. I forgot. So,
Yeah.
but it's not for combat anyway. But I just got to remind myself to do that when I've done this. All right, so I'm gonna fire at this fucker, and we're down 2 tiers, and I'm using another one of my speed to do an extra damage. So let's hope. Well, that's not bad.
So you're successful. How much damage are you doing?
You motherfucker. 4 and then 5, so 5 damage.
Okay, so this arrow clearly did significant damage to it. Didn't kill it, but it looks like it hurt like hell. So where did you puncture it?
Right. Basically, I was watching this scene on play out as Pivot kind of pointed at the fucking thing and went, "You're next," and the thing visually was like, "Rrr," and I was looking. I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Pivot!" And I fired at it when it was looking. So to Pivot's view, he's pointing at this thing, and he just does a right to the side of its head. And he's like, kind of even moves with it. He follows it and then back up.
All right, cool.
And then Pivot looks to me, and I kind of nod. I'm like, "No, I do this fucking thing."
And
All right.
yeah.
Cool. So this white liquidy looks like its blood is oozing out a little bit. Let's go to Theric. I think he was next, right?
Yep. All right. So what do I got? I got like 1, 2 with me. What do I got?
Okay, how many are left?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? So we've only killed one of them. That was the archer.
Yeah.
Pivot has done damage by grasping and crushing the tentacle of one of them, but now his arm is flailing from the tentacle itself. And then the 2 that attacked Pivot are okay. They haven't been hurt. and then the one who was trying to help the archer up and did some sort of telekinetic attack just had an arrow puncture its face where its face ought to be.
Okay, so do I have any other sort of like adjacent to me or like close by, like?
Is other player characters nearby? They're all within.
No. You know what? The one that Justin is grappling with.
Yep. Oh, he's not grappling anymore. His hand is grappling with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is his hand still doing damage to it, like passively?
It's like death grasp. No.
Oh, why not?
Maybe its lungs are in there. Who knows?
I don't know. If you guys want to spend some effort, Justin, I would allow it, but I'm not just going to allow it to.
Wait, can he control his arm? Can he control his arm when he's not touching it?
I was going to ask you that, Chris.
What do you think, Justin?
I was thinking that I had a mechanical implant or a.
Okay, you do, but you have to expel intellect effort in order to do it.
I'm totally cool with that.
Justin, you know what you should totally do? Smear some of that metallic goo right here.
Right? Hey, that's a good idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Justin's got a cipher that brings metallic objects to him, so all he's doing is smear here and just stand there ready to take it, and his arm fucking comes back to him.
And does damage ripping off.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
That is cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
I'll definitely allow it, for sure. Yeah, it's Theric's turn.
All right. So again, I don't know. I'm jumpy, so I'm gonna run and do like some jumping aerial cartwheel, grabbing Pivot's arm as I go. So I'm ripping it away, and as I come down, trying to just like use the arm to rip on that thing.
Okay, so excellent. So I'm going to give you as if you have an artifact or I can't remember the word right now, but as if you have a tool to help you. So I'll lower the difficulty by 1 because you have this nice handle to grasp onto.
Yep. So again,
an asset. Thank you. Asset.
I will use more effort with it as well.
Cool. So down by two steps.
Okay, and then my unarmed attack does -1.
-1 to the thing?
To the modifier on the attack, yeah.
Really? Automatically?
Supposed to drop
one tier. Okay, so you don't need to roll.
Oh, perfect!
So you've trained this a lot. You back in wherever you were, was it like a dojo or something you were training in?
It was a temple, yeah.
Okay, so the temple you train in quite a bit. What you would do is these dive break falls, where you would grab onto a belt or something, and you would tumble over. But this time you just hang on and you wrench it as you go across. And how much damage you do?
4.
So basically, it rips the tentacle right off the face. So now you're hanging onto Pivot's arm that's hanging onto a tentacle that's writhing in death, and you see the creature, blood, this white film everywhere, and it drops down dead.
Nice.
This is what's underneath the face, just so you guys know.
No!
Alex never fails to impress with
underneath the thing. It's like this.
No, that's not what's under the face. There is no face. That is his face. This tentacle just comes out.
I just picture this fucking... Remember the thing from Scrooge, when he opens the thing and all these little screaming faces are like...
Yeah, so basically that's there.
Alex's childlike wonder never ceases to amaze us.
I know. All right, Alex, Shaz, it is your turn. You just saw this gruesome tumbling acrobatics that Theric did, and you feel invigorated to prove yourself again to the group.
I was going to say, he's the one who's done the most damage.
Yeah.
So,
Again.
I want to know if I can... if there's any way I can use my telekinetic abilities to grab Pivot's arm and bring it back to him.
Good call.
You totally could
if
if he wasn't hanging on to it. So unless you're going to communicate to Theric, say, let go of the arm or something like that.
Yeah, I yell, Theric, let go! And at that very moment, grab hold of the arm so it doesn't just drop to the ground.
Okay, Theric. So Theric is lying on the ground on its back.
Not Theric, Pivot.
No, I'm talking about Theric with the arm.
Right.
He's lying on the ground with his back, with his tentacle flailing. He's dodging the tentacle, and you yell at him to drop it.
Yeah.
Derek? So he throws it
He throws it off the cliff, and it just tumbles.
down the hill.
No, that's okay. I have full awareness of my telekinetic abilities, and I just grab it midair.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm going to need you to do a roll for that.
All right.
So again, this is going to be a, what did I say from the last one, which didn't work out? You rolled a 1. This is going to be a standard action for you.
Yes, it is a very standard thing.
It's actually, I'm going to make it a demanding action because the fact that there's this flailing tentacle also attached, right? And it's kind of throwing the weight off, and it's pretty heavy. It's metal arm.
What's a demanding
9 or
difficulty?
above.
Yeah.
Demanding is 9?
Yeah.
9 target or 9 difficulty?
9 difficulty.
9 target.
Oh.
Well, target number, sorry.
Yeah,
Right,
not
target
difficult. that would be like
Here we go.
18.
All right.
Oh, so when you got a bonus. So no problem.
Nice!
You can do whatever you want with it, basically. It's in your
So-
hand. It's
Have sex
So the way I see it, Tarek throws the arm,
Yep.
and I grab it midair, and I slap one of these motherfuckers in the face.
So this floating hand hanging onto the dead person's face just bludgeons another one with it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's like making a
Telekinetic bitch slap.
yeah, basically
Yeah.
a melee attack. So let's say you do it because you rolled a 19. So let's just go
Yeah.
for damage right away. Which one are you going to hit? Are you going to hit the one that had the arrow in his head, or are you going to hit one of the other ones?
I'll hit the one that's got the arrow in its head.
Good call. Okay.
So I just smack it.
Just smack the arrow in.
No, yeah, you hammer the arrow in with the face of the other guy.
It's like, oh,
But it's more like this. It's more like, and then like back to pivot.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do it. What's the damage? So a 4, I guess, right? So you slowly hammer the arrow further and further until it comes out the other side, and it just passes out dead.
Oh,
nice.
fantastic.
The arm sockets back towards pivot, but you don't know how to attach it. You're not aware of how it goes in, so it kind of just pokes pivot where its stump would be.
Stop
looking
that.
like it's trying to stop. Okay.
I just drop it. I just drop it right next to pivot.
There's a
drop
cat on screen.
Perfect.
Everyone needs to drink.
Yeah.
Drink, drink, drink. The drinking gong.
All right. So last but not least is actually it's my turn again. Yay! Isn't it?
So it is least.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've killed. There's 2 of them left. These were the 2 that had their tentacles entangled, and they're seeing these other ones that are just dropping like flies, and they just turn to keep running basically.
Fuck yeah, they should.
And actually, one of the you notice that they both take out these capsules and they untwist it, and the tentacle goes right inside to absorb or whatever it's in there.
Uh-oh.
So
Are we
they're
allowed
trying
to
run
change?
away.
Are we allowed to change initiative order after we've said it?
So that's their turn. So now it's your turn. So I'll allow you guys. I'm just basically saying it's them, then you, then you.
Okay, then I'm thinking maybe I'll use distance to fire at them before chasing after them in case I can pick one off.
Okay.
Is that cool? Because Justin,
Yep,
you'll probably
yep.
get up snapping your arm
Basically,
anyway.
they're sprinting, but you get the impression that you'll get one shot off before they're out of range.
Then I'm going to take
have
that
a
shot.
feeling. I have a feeling that I want whatever's in that vial, like whatever they're slurping up. That seems to me like something important, something health-giving. So if we can kill these guys, if we could chase them down and grab that would be a bonus for me personally.
Is the creature within running distance from pivot currently?
If he sprints, he would be able to catch up roughly to them.
But he wouldn't be able to
They're
make
moving
another
pretty
action.
good.
But he wouldn't be able to make another action.
No, we're saying
Okay.
no. I'm gonna say you guys have 2 actions you can pull off. If pivot goes first or second, he will be able to run up and make an attack. But you
Okay.
guys are only gonna get 2 attacks before it's out.
Okay, then I'm just going to fire at it. And I'll
What are we
use
doing?
Pierce.
Okay.
Stroke that pussy, Michael. So I'm going to use Pierce, which is +1 damage, and I won't take an effort for it.
18A, this is now rated.
I said at the beginning.
I got surgical implants of barbs on my tongue just to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, you did. I
Sorry,
blanketed
okay.
this.
So what are you doing, Brandy Jack? I apologize, I was distracted by the comment.
You're allowed to be. It was my comment anyway. I'm just going to use Pierce, but I'm just going to do straight up attack.
Okay.
And this will be my last one before I need to reload anyway, so might as well just make it count. Natural 20!
Okay, so...
Beautiful.
Where's my...
Okay, so you have the choice now.
Oh, I love choice.
I'm gonna say the major action you can use is that you would burst the vial that he's about to drink from.
I'm going to say no, because he's trying to drink from it. Oh, well, like burst it and it splashes
off?
Yeah,
so it's about to drink it, and you could shoot the arrow so it disintegrates, basically. You hit it so the liquid drains it out. Or I will allow you to reload and shoot a second arrow.
I'll burst the vial. What color is the vial?
It looks not unsimilar. See the double negative I did there? To the vial that you drank from at the Fog and Folly.
So
you imagine it's you don't know. It's made from whatever similar material.
Well, I'm gonna shoot it because my logic is they're running, they're dying, and he's trying to drink from it. So clearly, it's in somewhat aid of him. So I'm just gonna fire at it.
Heck, you rolled a natural 20. I'm gonna give you a second shot too. I think that's fair.
You're too kind.
Yeah,
all right. Well, I'll burst the vial, and then I'll shoot him again.
Okay, so this is how many shots have you made? Do you have to reload yet?
Oh, I do have to reload. Shit. That's fine.
So,
I'll spend my second action reloading.
Yeah.
And I'll do a charisma thing while I do that.
Okay. So let's go for damage first of all.
Okay. So that would
which is full damage.
Well, I just burst the vial.
+2 isn't. Oh yeah, that's it. So it's burst. So it shatters in his hand, and what is this? Vial.
Green liquid.
It looks like a slug.
He's not wrong.
Okay, that's not what it looks like. My imagination is much better than that.
Everything is wrong.
It shatters in his hand, and if it had a face, it would look panicky, basically. Okay. So its hands are kind of like Kermit the Froggy.
Good. So that was a good call. And then I will
Has he stopped and he's trying to slurp it up off the ground?
No, he's not. He kind of looks back and he's like considering, and he still runs alongside the other one.
And I laugh at him. I say, "Fuck yeah, idiot!" And then I snap my trusty jackknife in half, and I reload that bitch with 3 new arrows. And as I do so, I turn to Shaz, a fine wine. And I give him good advice, and I can spend an intellect point to give good advice, which basically, I just had it up here, says...
Don't do drugs, kids.
Stay in school.
You have a clear mind for determining the best way to proceed. When you give another character a suggestion involving his next action, the character is trained in that action for 1 round. So basically, I can allow him to be trained in something for 1 round. Now...
Run, Forrest, run.
What does that apply to? Well,
let's make it rational. That's not the action, but let's make it rational as opposed like what my abilities are.
No.
Well, okay. How about this? You know what Shaz is capable of. You've seen the way he's fought in other encounters. You can make a suggestion that he will use an attack now that would be very beneficial.
Exactly. That's my thinking.
So I'll lower a tier for whatever reason.
What's that?
Whatever attack he's going to do, I'll just lower it by 1 tier.
Okay, that's easier. Let's do that for now. That works perfect. So I'll turn to Shiraz. I'll turn to Shaz and I'll say, Shaz, finish him off.
Do that thing you do.
So well. It's time, Shaz.
Do that thing you do.
It's time, Shaz. Do it. Do what? It.
Touch it. Touch it. Touch the boob.
So I approach the being.
It's sprinting away. You can't approach it.
What are these things called?
The actual name of them?
You did let it slip out earlier, I noticed.
I know. Let me see what their actual name is.
Shalene's or something.
Sathosh.
Okay, so the Sathosh is running, and as it's running, I run up, so I'm at least a close enough distance that I can see it. I'm within a distance of it that this thing is effective, and I onslaught with a telekinetic power, and I attack its physical body, and I'm just trying to push it. Oh, that's probably running. What is it, down a hill?
Telekinetically tie its shoelaces together.
Or as
Bingo.
Greg earlier suggested, just tie its head together.
There
What's
you
the
go.
other one?
I just try to collapse its fucking skull.
Okay. Okay, so let's do an attack.
All right. Do you want a roll of 20?
Yeah, roll a 20. Are you serious? Oh, I thought 19 was from now.
So
I don't know how to remove one, but not the other.
Oh, just hit clear.
It was a 12. It was a 12. We saw it, right?
Oh, but we have the advantage from Brandy Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a 12.
It was successful. So how much damage are you doing?
It would be 4. I didn't put any effort in.
Okay, so you can see as if something just bashed in the back of his head. It inflates, like it looks like it concaves for a second, but goes back. So something hit it, but it keeps sprinting.
Shit.
Hmm.
Well, that's
Can I hit it again?
After a second or two, you see it going towards this hill, and the one disappears. The other one is kind of panicking, looking around, and it keeps running and kind of gets out of distance eventually.
Hmm.
Now, Theric
Okay.
doesn't have any ranged weapons, okay?
He does.
He
That's
does,
what-
because,
I haven't had a turn yet, though.
yeah.
Mhm.
Theric, you have a turn now. He's now at a long distance.
Yep. So
So
I'll use my bow.
okay, we're gonna say he's 400 meters away.
End him, Theric.
It's far. It's a long shot. Let's not say 400. Let's say 200. That's still far.
Sure, whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know
Okay.
the difference.
Let's say 2 million.
Okay, it's an amazing shot.
So, you know what? I'll put some more effort in.
Okay.
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah,
So
well,
that'll bring
I
me there.
double love it.
I triple love it.
Oh, hey!
All right.
Oh, man.
So
kidding.
basically, you try to figure out the trajectory that you would need to fire this, and I think you
realize that
overcome.
When I carry my bow, it should be. I have to remember to restring it before.
it didn't have a string on it.
It's going to be worse than that. So you see how far it is, you aim up, and you fire, but you don't take into consideration the wind, and it's actually going to go straight up and come straight back down, and you're going to have to do a roll to...
dodge your own arrow.
yeah.
Oh no.
Excellent.
Roll something higher than 1.
Roll 1 again. We are either rolling 20s or 1s. So
I roll a 20-sider, and
Yep.
I can add, because I'm trained in speed defenses, if that
We're
helps.
not gonna. No, I'm not gonna give you anything for this because it was just you didn't.
Oh, that's
compensate.
good.
You're fine. You're actually just lucky. You move to the right and actually makes you go closer, and it lands right beside you.
I'll save that for later.
And the creature is gone. The creature is gone.
Recovered!
How fast can I get my hand on so I can slow clap for him?
Oh, yeah.
Fast enough.
All right.
Okay. So now you're standing in a gruesome. There's a few bodies around you. There's 3 bodies dead around you. One of them missing a face completely. Not that he had a face to begin with.
I was going to say.
It's actually still in the hand that Justin's trying to put on. But there's also this hand sticking out of the ground, not unlike I keep saying that, just like the golem in the village. And to the best of your knowledge, it's probably part of it. Either it's fallen off this far away, or as far as you know, it could still be attached.
How
What was
large
he
is
doing
it?
around it?
So it's really big, though, right?
It is very big. I would say it's the size of like a Volkswagen.
I want to call Shaz, and I want to bring him over to the vial that I shot, and I want to kind of get down and say, do you recognize this? Do you know what this is?
I'm going to let you guys do a scavenge or salvage and do a search and do a 1d6, and that's how many ciphers you will find on the bodies.
Cool. So we roll it for each body?
No, just total.
Oh, so one person
rolls? Each of us
rolls
roll a d6?
No, it's 1d6, and we'll see what's on the bodies.
So one person rolls.
Yep.
I'll roll it. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Okay,
Why
so
Brandy Jack leads.
you find a few vials on each of the creatures, 2 of them, and you don't know what the vials do, but you find them.
Okay, so can we decipher? Okay, so we have.
You can identify them. You can identify. It'll take about 10 minutes or so, but you can identify them. More likely than Nano will be able to identify them.
I was going to say, I'd like to take a look at these things. What am I looking at here? Is there anything I immediately identify?
That kind of gives away what the difficulty is to identify them. There you go. So yeah, like I described earlier, it is also this. The seal they're using is different from in the bar. There's no straw, obviously, but it is a vial that contains a little bit of liquid that you imagine is fairly volatile. Reactive with air.
To us, reactive with air.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what it does if you are successful in your identification.
Yeah, I'm going to smell it. I'm going to take a couple smells, and what do you want me to roll, a d20?
Yeah, and I'll just tell you, it's a task of 4.
And I'm trained in understanding Numenera. Is this a Numeneran object?
Yeah, so we'll make it a task of 3.
Good.
Fuck.
So best guess is you ingest it.
Just eat it and find out.
Yeah, I'm going to try it. Whatever.
Sure. Okay, so you pop the lid off, and do you drink it just all down?
I smack it out of his hand.
No,
I say, no, you idiot, don't eat it.
How do you ingest it?
I take just a mouthful, just enough, just enough to see what it tastes like. Maybe I can identify something by that.
It feels as if your hands and feet have just gone to sleep.
Oh,
like that tingling sensation. Not like physically sleeping, like tingle, like pins and needles.
Huh.
Is he invisible? Am I looking at him? Is
Yeah,
any
you can
change
see
on him?
Nope.
Oh. Well, what a useless potion.
May not be. It may not be. Not if used in the correct way.
You notice that the liquid's starting to react with the air and turn into that gas, and quickly it's gone. So one of them's gone. So you have 5 of them left.
I look at him
all the
and
same
say,
thing?
well, you know what? We can't carry all of them anyway because we can only carry a maximum of what we have on us, which means Justin can only carry 1 and Alex can only carry 1 more.
Now, hold on. These are not all ciphers, are they?
Yeah, they're all ciphers.
Oh.
So I think we can only take 1 with us.
You can try to identify them one more time, but you have to expel effort.
Yeah, well, why don't we chill here and take a quick, little break because I think right now we're pretty tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
What do you guys think?
Well, if we wait for an hour, we can take a break now and recover some of our pool. But and then
you
we
can
wait.
You can do a
an
10-second.
hour
You can do a 10-second break and recover 1d6 plus your tier. A 10-minute break, 1d6 plus your 10, or an hour break and another 1d6 plus 10.
Yeah, my thinking is
an hour break.
Yeah, we hang out for an hour and a bit. We spend some time discovering this stuff.
That means
Derek doesn't like it.
Not everybody needs to use the rules at that time. So only those who need it, you spend those as your recovery rules.
Okay, Theric, why do you
Theric could just stay with you guys but not recover, basically.
No. What I'm saying is we don't sit around here for an hour because
that's true.
there might be more of those things.
Yeah,
I'm saying let's take 10 minutes, recover, we do need to rest. Sorry. Then we'll find somewhere to shelter for the night.
Well, my only thinking is...
You found also on the...
dead.
While salvaging, you did find among the creatures some sort of tools that they were using to extract this chemical or whatever it is from the pipes. Excuse me. And in addition to that... I don't know. In addition to that, on the back of the hand, you found a ring that has, it looks like a jewel, but it's actually a box, and it has a lock on it.
Dibs.
You can't take the lock, it's attached to the ring.
Can I pick it
How
up?
big?
Yeah, you could try.
How
I'm
big
gonna
is
try
this
picking
hand?
it.
Like it's the size of a Volkswagen.
Oh, okay, so it's not something we could take with us.
I'm gonna try picking it.
You could.
It's not reasonable. It's not rational.
So are you guys resting or no?
Well, here's my
Yeah.
thinking. If we rest, we can regain hit points, but we can also spend some time to discover what all the ciphers are, figure out which one's most useful to us, and take that one with us.
Yeah, I
And-
will tell you, if you rest, I will let you figure out what they are, because you'll take enough time to do so.
Well, that's my thinking. So,
Bond.
well, that too. So it is a dangerous place to rest. It is a dangerous place to rest, but we can't move. But to me, it's worth the risk to get a really useful cipher.
Mhm.
So basically, it's threefold. It is dangerous, but we rest, we get to discover the ciphers, and I can try unlocking this in case there's something useful in there.
Yeah.
And we sent those things running. I don't think we're in much danger at this point.
This island, yo.
Basically, it's going to go back, obviously, and tell them, like, I saw my friend's face get ripped off, and then beaten
Yes.
my other friend to death.
But-
But maybe that'll enrage them. Who knows what's there?
The sand people startle easily.
This one guy stomped his face in.
But they'll be back in a greater number.
I hear where you're coming from. I say we do 10 minutes. Chris, you're gonna say you're saying that 10 minutes will give us enough time to maybe decipher some of these.
Yep, it'll give you, if you're taking your re-rolls at this point, it'll give you 2d6 plus 2 for your ability scores.
I'm in.
But how many
And
ciphers?
it will identify the items. It
Oh,
will
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Then
I'm
let's do
gonna
that.
just take one 1d6, and then save my other 3.
Okay, so, yeah, so that's a good roll. So you got 13 there, or 12? No, 13.
What, his?
Who?
Yes.
Me?
You.
That's 11.
That's 11.
Nice.
Oh, so, no, plus 2 for each levels. Or
Oh.
plus 2 for each roll, 1 per level kind of thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm going to roll as well.
I rolled 11. I get 2 plus what?
So you get 1 for the 6, you get to add 1 for your tier to the 6, and 1 for your tier to the 5.
Oh.
So
So
for the-
mine is a 7 and a 3. So mine's 10.
Yeah, so you rest for 10 seconds, you get the 6 plus 7, and then you rest for 10 minutes, and you get the 3.
Perfect. So I'm at 10,
So I
and I
re-
can distribute those, right?
So next time, just consider maybe rolling 1, and then seeing what the score is. That way you know if you want to roll the next one.
Good call.
So what do I get to do here? Is my question. Sorry.
Let's see.
So you get to take the 13 points you have and put it to up your ability scores to full from the ones that are reduced.
Okay.
Can't go more than the original, but
You can't go more, but you can go up to full.
Perfect. You can
That's-
split it up however you want.
All right, so we're going to end shortly, so I will describe to you what the liquids are. So the nano is resting, and as he recovers his wits and his strain is lessened, he looks at he's trying to remember the feeling he got from the liquid, and it's not unlike some of the experiments and the feelings that he got while witnessing in his youth, and he discovers that what it actually was isn't putting his fingers to sleep. It was tingling because it was actually making his hands slightly incorporeal. And if you drank the full liquid, you would be able to pass through a solid object for one round. For 10 seconds, you would be incorporeal.
Wow. So it's almost like at a phase or something.
Yeah, it's a level 4. They're level 4 items. Yeah, it's out of phase. That's exactly right. So your level 4 items. So you would have to spend 4 or roll to
XP?
get level 4. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that
So
they're
again-
all of these are the same cipher.
Yeah. You have now 5 of them.
Okay, so we can only take one, though.
Yeah. As you bring them close together, you can see that they start to bubble a little bit more, and so you try to keep them a little apart. So just volatile, they're not going to sustain if you keep too many of them. And that's probably why these creatures harvest them. And you kind of get the impression that one of them disappeared actually going into the earth and disappearing to some secret passage.
Okay, and while we were doing this, can I roll to try to be picking that lock while they're all discovering that shit?
Yeah, but it's going to be quite challenging. It is an old lock, but it is also old technology, which is very advanced.
I will try it anyway.
Sure.
And I will absolutely, utterly fail.
Okay, so you break whatever you're using to pick it.
Perfect.
So you don't have any lock picks, we'll say.
Awesome. No lock pick.
And so you guys are resting underneath the shade of this big hand. Randy Jack is trying to fix this thing. Nano is discovering what's in these vials. You guys are just tasted your first blood of these strange creatures, and you're on the border. Yeah, on the border of the bog that lays ahead, and you're sure that there's going to be harder things to face, let alone the environment itself is going to get harder.
Especially in the bog.
Break my only pick lock.
Yeah, and you broke your own pick lock.
And I go, all right, let's move out.
And one of the land masses goes over top of you and dumps water on you. And it looks like it's just raining on Randy Jack.
And I'm like, fuck, I need a drink.
So refreshing.
Okay. So, are we going to end there, or you want to continue?
No, let's end there. That's a perfect time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay, so first off, thank you, Chris, for running this game so far. Fantastic. Let's do that little applause thing. Yeah. Wonderful start to a very exciting campaign. I am riveted to find out what's going to happen next week. So thank you again, Chris. Secondly, thank you all for watching. This has been an absolutely wonderful experience. You guys have given us fantastic advice, fantastic little tweets and stuff like that. I really want to mention Gabe for again watching, and Jason, you guys have been watching this since Dragon Age, and I'm glad you carried over for Numenera. It's fantastic to hear from you guys again, and familiar faces, but not really. Please join the conversation on our Facebook page. You can find it. We've put it a bunch of places, but you can find it by just going on Facebook and searching the INVICTUS Stream, because the communication is so much easier there. We can put polls there. We're putting photos there. We post questions, and everyone posting there can be talking, and it lets us talk while the game's not running. Because, tomorrow morning you might be watching this, or you might be looking after, and you might say, oh, I had an idea that they could be doing for next week, and you can just shoot us there. So please join us. It's a closed group, but we all have access, so we'll invite you very quickly.
Also, I'd love to have examples of Numenera ciphers that you would suggest. I would definitely try to incorporate those into the game. So if you come up with something really quirky and cool, let me know.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to be back here next week, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Same thing for the continuation of this, which I personally am very excited for. And again, we're going to be awarding XP throughout the week, so anything that we run on Facebook, we'll probably do it retroactively so we can kind of look at where it's going to go. So that's always a fun reason to follow along. I did want to give one last quick shout-out to someone who helped us. I posted on Reddit, and they were watching, and they helped us with a good suggestion, which I thought was quite funny. And that person was someone with a terrible name, and they thought it was funny that I was going to do shit. Resting bitch face. Yeah, resting bitch face Jesus. So thanks another shout out to resting bitch face Jesus. Appreciate the suggestions and the stuff that you gave us on Reddit. So again,
should we give him some XP for that?
I got him down on the list.
There you go. Justin's making note of all the XP stuff, so we'll be rewarding that over the Facebook group.
Resting bitch face Jesus.
Resting bitch face Jesus. So again, thank you all so much. Please come back next week. We will see you then, and take it easy. Anything else,
what's the sign off?
See you around the table.
See you around the table. Cheers.